So previously, you Carrick still continued to feel at taming his kitty cat, which then proceeded to run off when they saw the dragon swooping down low out of the clouds, and Beric just managed to convince Airbomb to start doing snow angels in the snow to get him to actually hide from the dragon so they weren't all killed.
Good
It then
times.
Yes, it was very fun for you. You enjoyed it quite a lot. The snow angles are fun.
Good old snow angles. They'd be good now.
So the running away kitty cat then got frozen and carried away by the dragon, which surprisingly Airbomb was the only one to spot the direction it went and
I
communicated this
have the eyes of the albatross.
as best as possible, communicated that to the group who decided to follow it, find two cave entrances, one natural crack in the rock that led to a natural cave system, the other one further up the mountain that looked like some sort of tunnel that wasn't naturally made. Went inside, got ambushed by some kobolds and the traps inside the cave, and are pretty much in the middle of trying to work out their way through this kobold cave system. And I think the first thing we'll do is re-roll a new initiative order to see who's going to be going when, so we can keep this
Ah,
kind of
yes.
organized, since we're not
Here we
technically
go.
in combat.
13.
Ooh, that's pretty good. So Sam will just uh, find air bomb, and then yes, surprisingly you're not going
You.
last.
Well, shy crack.
Okay, so let me see here. So Barrack is going second, and Carrick third, Airbomb fourth, and Umar last, because the kobolds are
Oh,
going first, which is where things will begin. So, Barrack and Carrick are in the room of the still slightly burning and smouldering fire that just roasted one of the kobolds, while Airbomb and Umar are pushing down the next hallway, who suddenly see popping out of the shadows at the edge of Airbomb's vision. Umar can't see them since he does not have dark vision, and the light of the lantern just went out. A couple kobold archers just pop into your vision, and a few arrows start flying in your direction. Umar, who is pretty much unprepared for this assault of arrows, he's got his shield up just in case. Two of them deflect off it. One drops down low, pierces into his calf, and gives him gives him quite a. It looks like a bad shot from a Airbomb's point of view. You can see him drop down to a knee, and then the kobolds vanish back into the darkness. So we'll go to Barrack's turn after that has happened. So what do you want to do in the room you're currently
Um, I'd like to just use my turn to search uh, these crates and barrels.
Yes.
in? Which section are you gonna search? The ones in front of you, the ones at the top, or the
Uh,
bottom right?
gonna search these ones over here.
Okay. Make a perception check.
That was with advantage, and that was not supposed to be. So
Okay.
9 was the first.
they're pretty crap.
So
Yeah.
looking through them as you start to poke through, there seems to be like a lot of like packing, like straw or something inside, and as you're digging through, make a sleight of hand check.
They're booby trapped.
So as you're pulling through the straw, trying to find anything, you get to the bottom, and you see what looks like some type of a rock or ore, and then you hear a ting as something
Grenade.
snaps underneath the weight of your hands rummaging through the barrels. Now you need
Oh,
to make
fuck.
a dexterity save.
There's a spike trap.
You'll see. So,
Oh my.
okay,
Well,
so
dead ass
you hear
science.
this ting. You know it's the sign of a tripwire snapping somewhere inside the barrel, and as you turn and dive away, the barrel you were currently poking in explodes out and ignites the ground that you were standing on, barely burning the edge of your boots, as there's another
How
quite
would you not
so
notice that?
because he rolled a 9 perception.
Oh, okay.
And it's like
Look at this puddle.
it's pretty much the ground has like the tar
Also, I
pitch
can-
oil sprinkled with dirt. So when you look at it you don't know what it is. And the lantern is out. The only light is the light from the other fire burning the kobolds. So it's kinda
Looks
hard
like
to see.
meat's back on the menu, boy.
So as you're
Crispy.
dodging out of the way, you only take half the damage that you would have took, which is a total of 6. If I could select you, I would do that. So a bit of like scrap wood from the explosion hits across your back. The fire kind of catches the edge of your legs, but you do manage to tumble out of it in time to not be hurt too bad. Though that section is now on fire, just like the bit beside Carrick.
Oh, I wonder if that
Ah,
last
more
area
natural
is
light.
also.
Yeah, the room is a
Or
bit
in
more
natural
well
light.
lit. Anything else you'd like to try and do?
How much movement would I have left?
Yeah, about 15 feet or so.
Uh,
So pretty much like back to where you roughly were standing.
fuck this room.
So you're gonna start making your way out.
Yeah.
Okay. It is now. Are you gonna say anything as you're leaving?
Not really. I feel like if Carrick doesn't, all of this stuff's booby crap, Carrick. So let's just get the hell out of here and regroup with the others.
Okay.
But there might be something in the last box.
Well, it's your
You can
turn.
check it if you want.
So it's up to you.
Whose turn is it?
It's your
yours.
turn.
Right. Very quick glance. And obviously, my elven eyes. Do I see more oil? I will test the waters.
You need to roll a perception to find
I'll
out.
even dip my finger in it and see if it's sticky.
Roll a perception.
I can't find. Oh, here it is. Boom. All right.
So
Zero oil.
as you go along, you put your hand down. Yes, underneath the layer of like dirt and dust, it is kind of wet, damp, and sticky underneath.
These guys are like pussies.
They don't want you getting their shit.
Is this still on fire? These two.
It's
bits?
burning out, but there's a little bit of light.
Have all the crates burned?
And they're on fire,
Oh,
but not completely burned. The other ones behind you, like at the top, they're just completely exploded into shards.
19 HP. And I know there's oil. Why would they protect it though if it... Oh, so many fucking boxes and we've only killed about 4 of them. No. Let's go.
Okay, so you then leave behind. Actually, I'll reveal that layer of stuff. So is there anything else you'd like to do, or just start heading back that direction?
No, head back and I don't know. Keep moving on, I guess.
Okay.
You wouldn't light your
Well,
lantern,
on lantern, I will
or
light.
give it to me and I'll hold on to it, like whatever you want to do.
I'll give you the lantern if I have a lantern. Andrew,
You do
I
have a
have
lantern,
a lantern?
so
Give Beric the lantern.
you're gonna exchange the lantern.
Well, I never use mine, so
Okay. At the start of the next turn, you'll be able to light up the lantern. So we're now to Airbomb on his turn. Currently standing behind this human with a shield that's got shot by some arrows.
Hmm. How big is this hallway?
You're having to duck. It's probably like 6 feet or lower. So you're like hunched down.
Could I
Oh, you
squeeze
can't.
past this guy in front of me, like?
But yeah, he can let you past.
Alright. Alright, so wait, I need to just double check. I took great weapon, so I can't. It's not the sprint. I didn't take the sprint thing.
No, you took the great weapon.
Okay. And I'm saying I'm 30 foot
Indeed.
without just full 30 foot and no
30
spare
foot,
actions.
30 foot, then you have a bonus action and an attack. Or you could sprint the 60 feet and only have a bonus action. Which doesn't let you do much.
Get out of my way.
Move, land lover, and I'm gonna push the to here.
Guess you're gonna
Lover?
move up a little bit. He's gonna.
I presume I don't know who this person is. He just looks like he loves land.
Most of these people
Are you
do
from
seem
the
as
sea
though they love
or?
that.
Yar.
Oh, okay. You're a pirate.
I shall reveal
What
some
can I see now?
terrain to you. So you see then this next hallway that you're beside, and you can like barely see down the hallway that there is what looks to be a kobold hiding behind the twists and turns of the tunnel.
What a fag.
And then in this next room, you cannot really see too much more. You would see about that much of the room as you're getting ready to step inside. So you
What the
do
hell
see
are
a
the
couple.
red circles?
Those are fires.
Oh,
Okay. So I can move an extra.
30. Well, you've got like another 5 or 10 feet of your normal movement, and then you could dash like another 30.
How many? I moved about. I've got another couple of feet.
Yeah, not a lot. Since you already moved like 20 something.
Probably like something like that. Hmm. I'll move about here just so I can let other people pass,
Okay, so you're blocking that other pathway.
and then I can still be seen. And then I'm gonna. I feel like I'm exposed, so I'm gonna do a little rage. I think
You're gonna start getting angry.
I'm just gonna start foaming at the mouth.
So then lose sight of the rest of the room. But you do see that there are a couple kobolds that you noticed in that room before you stepped to the side, and then the one further up the pathway to your right. And you start getting very angry as Umar, who currently cannot see in the darkness, starts slowly stepping forward, hears you getting angry and frothing at the mouth, and stops up next to you, like hugging close to the wall, looking over at this sight that he can barely see. Just, what the fuck?
Little people.
And looks confused, but hides behind the wall and prepares for something to attack. And then, in your angry rage, you see the kobold that's currently in your vision disappear out of sight. And the archers suddenly reappear back into your sight. Just barely. And a couple more arrows start to fly your direction. So as you're standing there hiding behind the wall, you see 2 arrows ricochet off the rock in front of you and just splinter off to the side. The one flies true and pierces into your side, in your rage, only doing 1 damage. So it just kind of grazes your arm, leaves a little scratch, but you barely even notice.
Sweet sauce.
And then they disappear again, off into the darkness, out of your line of sight. And the one you saw further down the tunnel vanishes.
Wait a minute.
It's
Can
gone as
kobolds
well.
like dead ass see?
They are very good at
Didn't know.
seeing stuff in the dark.
They do
Oh.
live in fucking caves.
Okay.
Yes, they don't need the light to really see. So, we're now back to Beric.
At last, a worthy enemy.
Still got a
I
couple
will-
splinters poking into your flesh, a slight bit.
I will just use my full
Oh, run the full
movement-
60. Full 60, lad.
Full movement to regroup in this wee divot here behind Umar.
And light your lantern.
Yes.
Let me.
Or can I light my lantern if I use the full movement?
You would only be able to light it if you used your 30 feet.
I will use the 30 feet then and light the lantern.
Gonna add in the range of what your lantern would let you see. So the darker red circle that I'm assuming you can see, that's where the
Yep.
light is quite bright, and then it fades out being a lot lighter in the like more pinkish red.
Okay.
Anything else you would like to do before Carrick decides to rush past
Nope.
you?
Nope.
Okay, so as you get the lantern struck up and lit, it does provide a little bit more line of sight.
Who is
to a
breathing?
couple
I will
people.
take out your lungs.
Try me.
So
You
then
don't have to listen to that for another 2 hours.
gives Umar a bit more. Why the fuck did that? But Umar can then see a bit more, and you hear him shout back over his shoulder to the rest. There's a lot more in this room. I'll get my shield up. Be ready.
Excellent.
And you see him crouch down, shield on the ground, trying to lower his profile so there's less to hit.
I couldn't shoot at anyone, Andrew, could I?
Did you run a full 60?
I only run 30.
Mm,
No, for one, I was here, so that's 11 foot.
Well, 12.
-ish, and then I run to here, which is 18 foot. That's 29.
Close enough. Who do you want to try and shoot?
Well, this booty. I mean, I'm not trying to break the game, like, you know.
Roll your attempt.
Longbow.
Okay, roll your damage as you see this little kobold is trying to run back behind to the shadows. The light comes pouring through from the lantern. And he looks your direction. And the arrow just catches him in the hand. Goes through his hand. And just
Ooh.
goes down into his neck. And you see him collapse onto the ground as he's mid-run and
I'm starting to like this,
skids
bro.
before he stops.
poor little guy.
Yeah, we're now back to Ibom. Currently frothing and getting quite angry.
Bomb. Eat.
Eat meat.
A bump smash.
Looks like
Where?
Nick's back on them.
So what do you want to
Turn
do?
around to what's the spy called again?
That
Umar.
is Umar.
What's his appearance?
He's
red
the
dog.
kind of bronzy skinned guy.
Eastern.
Bronze boy. Okay, bronze boy. Bronze boy. Do you see little persons?
He just
Wanna be
looks at you.
call him red,
The
man.
fuck? There's kobolds in there, yeah.
No. Wait a minute.
Oh god.
You get the
I-
one on the table there.
I will allow it.
Okay, so you're gonna run in.
You get them sandwiches.
Roll
as well.
a perception check as you rush in.
Wait a minute. I need
Split them
to-
in half.
Oh god, he's gonna run over a tripwire.
I do not believe in tripwires.
I don't believe it.
Okay, so as you're mid or running in, you see that like just below your eye level, there is something kind of reflecting a little bit of light across the doorway.
Excellent. It's more oil.
No, like about his, like it would be like maybe 5 foot up. It's like your chest, so down near his waist, some little like glimmering thing like,
Yeah.
stretching midair across the doorway.
What cling film?
Across it or above it?
Like across the doorway.
A second.
So a little tiny. You
Wait.
just can't see it because you're too far back to notice. But
Can
there's a,
I
Okay, I know metagaming, but what?
can
the
I use my athletics to limbo?
uh,
Well, you've seen it.
it would be more of
to-
acrobatics to limbo,
It's a knee slide, Samuel. It's
I'm
a knee
gonna-
slide.
or do you
Right,
just want to
whatever.
slide under it, like
Yeah.
onto your
something like that.
knees? So kind of football tackle, slide under it style.
Aye.
Go
a
for some
Legolas.
athletics then. With advantage
your
because you are
300 pounds.
raging.
Disadvantage.
Advantage, yeah, because raging gives you an advantage on strength checks. So advantage that shit. 'Cause you're bad.
Whilst going under it, I'm just gonna like try to warn the party in the only way I know how. I hate rope.
He hits rope. Roll your athletics. Okay, so you slide down, getting super low to the ground, and then not even like breaking a step or anything, get back to your feet and just start barreling into the rest of the room. Getting up
Can he
close.
do the barrel roll into the cobalt? Like that's crit. That's.
We'll have to see what the attack is.
Barrel!
You could just rip his head off. The
Oh, he
man
can-
So
could
you've now
literally-
entered the room and can see everything that's inside. So
Look
you
at
still
these
have
two
your
flags
attack
here
and
with
your
our armor.
bonus action. So what do you want to do?
Slay them all.
First yell out, 5 little persons, and
Okay.
then just what does this one in front of me look like?
No
Uh,
armor. I mean, assuming.
Just the average kind of little lizard man, maybe 3 feet tall, not wearing anything apart from rags, holding some sort of stick or club in its hand.
Which means he has 5
I
HP.
Take my
Probably
maul
not even.
and bring it down on this guy right here.
Oh, you're going for the armor
Okay.
guy? Oh, okay.
Roll your attack.
Should've
No
been-
advantage.
Should have ripped him in half.
And just because I'm that angry, may I reckless attack this?
Oh, you can.
What
So
is reckless?
he gets
attack?
advantage
Roll?
in all his attacks, but everyone attacking him has advantage. So
So he gets
What
yes,
button
could
do I
be
roll? What button do I
That's
roll here?
dicey.
It's
And
advantage.
advantage. Then
Maul.
in the middle, click on maul.
So
Okay,
17,
so
that's not a
You
hit.
see this one that's like kind of hiding around the corner or waiting for people to come in. Take him by surprise with your slide in. Swing your maul around and roll your damage. Because you've definitely hit this poor fellow.
Oh my
and-
word, that is a
Oh,
shot
he doesn't
right there.
exist. He doesn't exist anymore.
You just slam it
RKO!
into his
RKO!
face, and you just carry the kobold isn't
What
very
damage
heavy,
does it do
so you
when do
carry the face of this kobold on the edge of the hammer and just slam it into the side of the cliff, and it just explodes on the wall.
Oh,
Meat chunks.
and he just headless collapses onto the ground.
what damage?
It's a two-handed
Right.
weapon, so it's a
What-
D12
D2. And it obviously has a plus.
Oh, that's a
Gee,
+5.
+3.
that's madness.
I was
Actually,
really
there would be an extra +2 on it because you are raging,
raging.
so that would be a 16 damage.
Well, as if he didn't have any children anyway.
he's already dead. So,
I like
would you like to
use
try and do
my
something with your bonus
bonus
action?
action
Yeah.
and just kind of
Just break that guy's neck.
turn around a bit, and then go for intimidation, just like screaming, "You are all dead! I will leave nothing for the rats!"
Roll an intimidation check to
Damn.
see how that goes.
The rats are my cousins.
Is that with advantage or not?
Not intimidation, because intimidation is charisma. And since you're shouting,
Oh dear.
oh damn. So let's see.
Nothing! I will.
1, 2, 3, run. This guy probably not.
Okay. So you scream out, shouting at the top of your lungs, and you'll need to wait until the kobold's turn to see how they react. Though you've got a feeling they might be quite shaken. So following your lead, Umar sees you charging in, the lantern lighting up, and he starts making his way in. Spots.
So many ducks under the wire.
Well, he has to make an advantaged perception check to spot it, to actually duck under it. Because you have heard there is a rope, but none of you actually know where the rope is just yet.
What's a
And
rope?
he... Oh, that's not good.
Better he triggered than us.
So even with advantage, he did not actually spot where the wire was. So you see him trying to duck down to miss it. And then you hear another ting!
Damn it, Bronze Boy!
And he tries to then do a duck and roll out of the way to try and avoid it. And you just see him jump to try and jump out of the way, but actually kind of jumps more into the net, and the net just kind of catches him and then shoots up into a little hollow spot on the roof.
Excellent. He's been not kidnapped, but trapped in a net.
Yes, he is currently
Giggity,
trapped
giggity.
Cobra
in a
net.
net. And then you see him kind of kicking around, going, "The fucking kobolds!" And that ends his turn. And the kobolds get to act.
First they must roll if they're feared.
Oh, I've already rolled that.
Yeah,
And-
definitely cleared.
You see the first group of small kobolds start rushing for and dashing to this door, flinging it open, and disappearing
rolling.
inside as they run off.
It's also the end of the map.
The one right beside Ebom also runs, giving you
Get
a
a free hit.
reaction attack. So just roll an attack with your maul and
Good.
See if
Wait,
you get it.
normal.
You only need to roll 5. Oh, that kid had a family.
oh, you barely hit him. Roll your damage.
12 is enough. Oh!
And you just, after smashing the first
I
one,
care not for his family.
swing the hammer back around, catching his feet, knocking him over, and then just bringing it down onto his back with a sickening snap. As
Boom.
you just hear the spine just snapping and breaking.
What's mine?
Bill Barr.
Doesn't have one left.
You then see the other kobold dash for the door,
Oh, yeah,
or run
feared
out,
cunt.
and then the door behind him slam, and you can hear a lot of like racket from behind it, and then it stops.
Well,
And
that was easy.
it is now Barrick's turn.
I shall use movement to move up here to try to find the rope that is.
Roll some perception. So you can see
Look
that
at him.
very well hidden at the side of the doorway doorway entrance. Like there's a kind of little cut-in bit, and the rope has been placed into this small cut-in that you could only see if you were really looking for it. Which then goes up, loops over some of the rock in the ceiling, and then hangs down attached to the net that Umar is trapped in.
Brace yourself. Can I try to cut the rope but hold? Like, can I cut it near the bottom,
The way the
As though-
rope is hidden,
or is it just
the
sort
gap is too narrow for you to actually fit a full hand in.
So I just have to.
It's like human proof. Only very small creatures could get their hands in.
Can I still cut it?
You'd need to use your thieves' tools to actually try and disarm the trap and get them down.
Okay, I will try to use my thieves' tools. So. Aha.
Yeah, so you sneak in some of your thieves' tools, hooking round the rope and pulling it closer so you can slide in a small blade and cut your way through it, which then releases the net, dropping down to the ground since there's no way to really hold on to it with your tools the way it's constructed. And you see Umar slam to the ground. Kind of catches himself, but it's a bit hard and tangled up in the net, and it looks like he might have sprained an ankle, but he's basically turned around and he's like,
Full
Fucking
bore, let's
nets.
go home.
thanks for the save. And looks around and notices that there's no more kobolds because they're all dead. Anything else you'd like to do?
I will then just go over here and just have a look up this shaft just to make sure there's no coming
Looking
this way.
up as far as you can, you don't see anyone up that direction.
No.
Anything else you'd like to do before the end of your turn?
Nope, just hold here.
Okay, it's now Carrick's turn.
My turn yet?
It is your turn now.
I like the way a character's ass. Like, it's Carrick's turn. Is it my turn?
So this guy, Umar's freed, yes.
Yeah, he's just kind of on the ground, holding his ankle from where he fell on it.
Oh, bless his heart.
Oh,
Okay.
I see what you're doing there.
Yeah, get rid of that. Yeah.
His trapped icon.
What are these?
Though you're not in the room, so you can't see.
Oh, right, okay, well, we'll go find out what these are then.
Yep, you actually need to go in to look at them.
Boom, I am in the room.
So,
What are they?
stepping into the room, you and pretty much everyone else at this point notices this is some sort of like sleeping area.
Yes.
There's lots of furs and skins on the ground where it looks like the kobolds would be sleeping. There's a couple of low burning fires. And around the outside of the wall there's a couple like kind of like lock boxes, like storage chests. Just settle out around the wall in certain areas.
Excellent.
What's in there?
I don't know. Chests of sort. We'll have to see.
Remember the last time we tried to open some fucking chests?
Right, I will go to these first two,
Okay.
and I'm gonna check the living shit out of behind them, in front of them, above them. I'm paranoid right now.
Okay.
So do I have to roll perception?
Roll perception or investigation. Like, are you just looking at them, or are you gonna like touch around, feel them, and actually like more of hands-on inspect them?
More of a hands-on inspection.
That would be
I think.
investigation.
Here we
So, right
Right.
one first, and then the left one.
And again. Oh, that was terrible.
Okay, so from what you can tell, they just seem to be normal lockboxes. Just normal chests. They've got a
Both of them?
really, yeah, a really simple looking lock that's barely a lock.
So if you just jimmy the sword in there and pop the
If you
lock,
just give
that...
them a little wiggle, you'd probably pop them open.
Oh, we'll do that then. We'll do that.
Okay, so
There's no point getting the thieves' tools out if we don't need them.
well, you'd need the thieves' tools to give them the jimmy to
Oh,
open them up.
okay.
Yeah, you got a
okay.
crowbar. Just use the crowbar.
Or
Alright,
use the
we'll use it,
crowbar.
we'll use the crowbar. Use the crowbar.
Crowbar would be a strength check, whereas the thieves' tools is dexterity.
Alright, okay, well then we'll do thieves' tools, and then dexterity is probably what I'm good at, so...
Okay.
Yes.
So
One.
roll. Well, that's for the first chest. So you get the one on the right. You get your thieves' tools out, slide in one of the little small thin blades into the lock, and you barely even turn it, and it pops open, and inside you see like a couple little satchels, a little bit of what looks like food, herbs, some mushrooms. Looks like kind of like a little snack box for one of the kobolds.
What do they eat?
You've no idea. They must eat these mushrooms and whatever's in the little satchel.
Oh, lethal, we got some shrooms. Right, let's open the other one.
Thieves' tools for that as well.
Dexterity. Oh, it's a one.
Okay,
Oh,
so
no,
you're
hi-
trying to wiggle this one open, but overconfident from the last one, you snap one of your lockpicks on the inside.
How many do I have?
Probably like an infinite supply of lockpicks. But I'll tell you if I think you're eventually getting low from too many
Does
ones.
not phase me.
Gotta try again and continue opening
yeah,
it. Okay,
yeah.
go again.
Another 11.
Okay, so this one you slide back in your blade and your lockpick. You hear the kink as the single tumbler holding it closed pops up. And lifting the lid up, roll a dexterity save. Because this one was
Okay,
trapped.
Crossbow! Yet again.
Oh,
Fuck you, Andrew.
so as you lift the lid up, you get a flashback to when you previously got hit opening a chest by a trap. And instinctually, you start to move out of the way,
Yup.
and a puff of air shoots out, and you feel a slight graze across the side of your cheek as some sort of dart flies out, barely missing you, just scraping you for 1 point of damage.
Ow. Bloody tramps.
Yep, and they're looking into the rest of the chest.
Really
There's nothing in
booby
this
trap
one
everything.
apart from some sort of built-in like blow dart gun.
Ooh. That is interesting.
Just gonna run.
Shoot the kill.
So that would
Can that be disassembled?
you can try on your next turn, because that would be the end of your turn at this point.
That's alright. It's fine.
And it's now A-Bomb again, who's just murdered those two and saw Carrick almost get pinged in the
Switch
face
back,
by a dart.
guys.
First of all, question: how long will I have of rage?
Like 10 turns.
Excellent. Other thing that just came to my mind that I wasn't too sure about.
Yes.
I would think I might have to do an insight check, but several sessions ago, I remember before a certain kobold got murdered by a dragon, he told me
Yes.
about a cave system. Is this that cave system?
Roll an intelligence check.
Oh, I'm so fucked. Boom.
Well, from what you can gather, this is north and it is east, but that's all you can really tell. It's north, it's east, and you were told north and east, but it could be a different Kiev, it could be the same
North.
Kiev.
North, east. Wait a minute. Rat people that kind of look like lizards. There beta balloons here. Money! Kill the rat people or lizards. I don't really know. And I'm gonna go to where I last seen a rat, which was up this way. So
Or the ones that went through the door.
how big is that door?
It's probably like 2 feet wide, 4 feet tall.
Not a chance in hell. I'm gonna go back the way I came. So I'm gonna go here, and then
You
what's
can always
that?
push past team members
Aye.
if you want.
I'll push past feet members like, move, little people,
Oh fuck!
and then
Just get
so wait,
shoved out of the way.
what was that? Was that 20
That was
to
like
get to there?
20-ish, yeah.
So then
Gonna move like your
Full-
full movement, like another
full. Well, then
sprinting,
I'll move another. Yeah, I'm gonna go full sprint. So another 20 up to here.
and then like you can do 30, then 30. So you've got another after that another 20 feet if you want to use it.
I'll see what I see first before I make
Okay,
my
so
last movement.
what you can see there, it's just little like a little indent part. Currently, nothing in it. We're gonna stop there or move
I
the
don't like
rest.
that word currently.
Yeah, like there was a kobold down there earlier and he ran off.
Eh, I don't believe in safety. Safety's for wimps.
So you're gonna keep
Of course
going?
not.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll perception.
I love
I
the way
am
I've just watched A-Bomb just run into the dark.
I am too angry to perceive.
Okay, so as you take your first step from like back here, your foot squishes down and it's not as solid as the rest of the ground. It's kind of squishy. Are gonna and you do notice again another one of those kind of silver like glinting glimmering things is expanding across this part of the cave.
Oh, it's one of them.
So like here.
How low can I go? How low can I go?
Are you just
I
gonna
will.
like
I want to
mid
attempt to
sprint
do the.
slide under it?
I kind of want to just full on rugby tackle, just dive.
Okay, that would be another athletics to successfully dive low enough underneath this
Should I do it on normal or advantage?
advantage because you're still raging. So you have
I
advantage
hate
on all your
ropes!
strength.
I'll scream again. I hate ropes again.
That
Okay.
was a much robot.
Oh damn! Now they're
Good
trying.
man.
Man.
So easily you just slide, like dive, take a roll, and get back onto your feet. A bit covered in some slimy, sticky stuff, but
Hey,
seem
I
to be
like a bit
fine.
of the sticky stuff now and then.
so you then get a little bit more of a look down the tunnel, but not that much. So anything,
Rope is a bitch.
rope
Can
is
kiss
a
my
bitch.
ass.
So it would now be Umar who is looking around, quite disappointed that he got stuck in a trap, and starts to make his way up the tunnel, but not at a sprint.
Everybody's just booking it.
It's like, I want to
Really?
finish these fucking kobolds. This place is trapped to hell as he's walking out. Seems quite angry.
I want to get the fuck out of here.
And when it gets to your turn, Mackay, you can go for the loot.
What have
So,
we left behind?
It is now the kobolds. So,
Come back out of that room and just gank my god.
first thing that
Think 'em.
happens, Ebom spots a kobold peek around the corner, screech at him, and fire an arrow from its bow before running away.
If he misses, he's retarded.
The kobold
How could you
does
miss?
hit,
Well, you know what I have to say to that? Double ring!
and it does 2 damage because you're raging. And then you see it run away, trying as best it can to escape.
No
And,
escape. No
in-
survivors. No
in the
prisoners.
sleeping area, as Carrick is looting, you see a little slot open up in the door, and an arrow comes flying through towards your back as
Oh,
you're.
slot. What a dick.
Yeah, they open like a wee eye slot in the door and fire an arrow through towards your back.
What a dick.
And like you get hit square in the back, taking 8 points of damage from the kobold's bow.
From a bloody...
From a kobold. He has a
From a
short bow.
kobold.
It's the same bow you used to
Ah, no,
own.
no, 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 you don't understand. No, it's... I never get 8 damage. I
You
never
don't.
get 8. Don't get 8 damage.
He rolled a natural 6 plus 2 on his
I'd
damage.
love today I roll a natural 6. I might, Sammy, I'm yet to roll a d6 where I roll a 6 in this.
Oh, you're using a D8
Gatecraft.
star.
Yes, I
which
know, but
makes it worse.
how long did I have the short bow for? And I never once got a natural 6 from a d6. I don't get any.
But you see the slot in the door slam shut again, and the scuttering of feet as the kobold runs off again.
Coward, I was going to shoot back at him.
They are cowards. It would now be Beric's turn.
See these.
Under your dick.
I
Karen,
know.
what's going on in there?
Just got shot.
What do you mean? Just
They're still here, but behind a door. They cower in fear.
are these like beds, Andre?
They're more of like skins on the ground, but they do look like they're like sleeping bags of just
Oh,
animal pelts.
well, get out of there and hurry up. We're falling behind. A-bomb's pushing forward.
Yes, the
Oh,
mad,
pardon me.
angry half-orc is just barreling ahead.
Roar!
My full movement to get here, and then I'm gonna
Alright,
roll.
roll your perception.
Perception.
I will say advantage since Ebom did call out something about rope, so you know something is down this tunnel. But you don't know what just yet. Okay, so as you're stepping along, like you've been unintentionally stepping along Ebom's footsteps, like trying to go, okay, if he was safe, I'll be safe.
Do I see the slide marks?
You do see like a bit where there's no steps, and then it seems though he's like jumped, landed on his shoulder, and tumbled through. Though you don't see what he was trying to get past.
Hmm. I'm just gonna sort of
This is weird.
just gonna wait here for Umar and Car to catch up. Saying that I can't get past him anyway, so
Okay. So it's now back to Carrick. Okay, so you've just got shot in
How
the
long-
back in this room.
How long will it take me to disassemble this?
That
Oh,
depends on your sleight of hand roll to disassemble it without destroying
And
it.
is it going to consume? Is it going to consume an entire turn?
Oh yes, your whole turn would be took. You could still move, but like your action would be to disassemble the trapped chest. So you're just gonna go full sprint up to everybody else. So that's 10, 10,
Use all
Yeah.
movement.
10.
What?
Okay, so you could get like right up behind Ebon. So you're
Oh,
gonna need to
no.
roll your
No.
perception. Okay.
Okay. Advantage?
Uh,
mm,
Oh,
it's
it's a crit.
okay, you didn't need
Yeah,
it.
right.
So as you're running along, past Beric, who's looking hesitantly at this wider spot, you
Thank you.
catch a glint of light reflecting off something thin and narrow, like expanding this opening that's about the height of your chest. It is definitely some sort of a tripwire set just above head height for a kobold. And he's gone. God damn.
well, he obviously just friggin' does the Elfie thing and just runs along and just double flips over it.
Yeah, we'll say he just dives under it. Because Air Bomb's big, so he needs to roll to get past it, but you guys are
Sick.
small enough that you could fit underneath it, or, well, not jump over it, but fit under it without
Sick.
having to roll now that you know it's there.
I wanted that. But
Are you back, guy?
I'm back, yeah, but my mother keeps walking in, so I have to mute myself.
Okay, so you just noticed the tripwire. How do you want to get around the tripwire?
Just dive under it.
Okay, so you just
Ooh.
slide underneath the tripwire. Beric then sees this, so you know there's something there. You haven't spotted what, but you know that there is a tripwire there. And now it is back to Ebom, who is barreling ahead forward, lightning speed.
Keep rolling.
So you're going to continue down
Roll
the
out.
hallway.
Little, little persons.
Autobots roll out. What do you call your voice? Does the voice acting for that? Let me look this up. I'm gonna look this up. Hold on.
Unimportant.
It's very unimportant.
We have kobolds to kill.
I wouldn't have to kill him if Optimus Prime was here. He'd soon sort them
He wouldn't be able to get in the cave.
out.
He wouldn't. So, as Ebom goes barreling down the tunnel, you see a couple more kobolds at the very end.
Oh, Andrew,
Yes?
this is a topical question. Are we going higher or lower in this
Now
game?
that
Lower.
you've passed this part, you're going on a lot steeper of a decline than you were previously.
We are going higher.
Decline.
Dead ass.
Decline.
You're going down.
Oh, a decline. Oh shit. Okay.
Yes.
Is that behind the wee archery man?
This is interesting.
That is a pool of water. Seems as though part of this cave must have got flooded and is partially submerged in water.
Can I tell how deep that water is?
Not from here. You can just see the surface off in the distance.
Drown the kobolds in it. And then
I'm just
burn out.
intending to sprint straight forward and just anything I can collide, just push it into the water. Well, actually, wait a
Okay.
minute. That was that. Aye, that. I
So
want to
just
just
gonna
run, and
go
if I
full
can
sprint?
grab anything, I'm just gonna grab it on the way past.
You can try to like bull rush one of the kobolds if you want, though it'll be your athletics against his acrobatics to dodge out of the way. So,
With advantage, that sounds like a plan.
for this, yes. Since you are
I'll-
still raging.
Come here, little man.
Okay, so as you go
I want to
running
squeeze you.
running forward, you see the kobold at the back dive deftly out of the way, not even phased. But the first one looks like he would have got away, but you managed to like catch the edge of his like foot as you're running, and would now have him essentially grappled as you're holding on to him. Though, okay. Yeah, you've got him grabbed by the foot, pretty much. Or the tail. We'll say the tail. So, what do you want to do now? You've ran, sprinted. So you still have a bonus action, but you don't really have much you can do. As you now see more of the room as well. We'll say like that much. So it seems to be a bigger room that is definitely flooded by water that might be a couple feet deep. It does look very dirty and murky.
I'm gonna do the only acceptable thing. And wait, what do I have him by?
By his tail.
His tail. I'm gonna do the only acceptable thing and carry him to the edge and just shove his face straight into the pool and just hold it there.
Okay, so the last of your movement, you're kind of going for like a rugby dive with the kobold to slam him into the water and drown him.
Yep. Yes.
Do another athletics against the kobold. Kobold was rolled decently. Ah. So this kobold is trying his best to try and squirm his
Roll
way
out.
out of your grasp, but you do manage to slam down onto the ground, getting as far as you can with a dive and pushing him into the water and holding down his head. But it will take a while to see what the result
Drown
is.
this poor thing. We've already had death by fire. Now we're gonna have death by water. What's next?
Though you do now
By
see
poison, obviously.
Nature.
the rest of
We
room.
take a prisoner, tie him to a tree, and cut his arms off. I
So
suppose.
you do
see if
then
he
see the
lives.
rest of the room where there are two kobolds to your left that are looking at you as you've dived out.
I'm just gonna. I know I can't
Wait a
because
minute,
I've
wait,
done all
wait,
my
wait, wait,
actions,
wait.
but I'm
Wait,
just
what-
I'm just gonna.
Yes,
I'm
those,
just
those
gonna-
are some fishies that you cannot see yet. So that's gonna be fun.
I'm just want to have him down. I'm just gonna like look over to the two of them. It's like
This is-
you're next to go to Davy Jones's lair.
So
There are no survivors.
Umar
No
starts
survivors.
pushing through, ducking
I'm
underneath.
assuming he
Else
gets.
you not
I'm
told
assuming he
me.
gets past the tripwire.
He does. He sees this one. So he ducks under it slowly and carefully and starts making his way up the tunnel, keeping to the side as much as he can, so if someone wants to get past, they can. Doesn't dash forward as far as anyone. He's like, this fucking orc. No patience. And then the kobolds start backing up from Ebon. Actually, no. The kobolds rush up behind Ebon into Umar's sightline. And while you're trying to drown this kobold in the water, you just feel a slight stabbing and poking, and then these kobolds starting to push you towards the water. So you need to make a strength saving throw. Still with advantage because
That's
you are
my
raging,
thing.
but you are now getting pushed by the kobolds from behind. God damn. It's like your third 20.
Tell me this. Do you fear death?
Do you fear death?
So as those kobolds are
William
behind
Penn,
you trying
do
to
you-
push you into the water, and you're still holding on to the one kobold, you're almost laughing to yourself inside as the kobolds are feeling to budge you.
Yeah.
But
that-
in this momentary lapse of concentration, you do feel the kobold in your hands, you also rolled a natural 20, plus 6, squirm out of your grasp and clamber out of the water away from you as you're being pushed from behind. The other two rolled an 8 and a 4 on their strength.
You think you can escape, little one?
So this
Davy
kobold,
Jones requires souls.
he
Souls, I say.
runs out of the way from you as much as he can. And then the kobolds take their chance while you're on the ground and try and run away again towards the door.
You fear death.
So you can attempt to make a disadvantaged attack on any one of those three kobolds that you want, since they're all trying to run away from you.
The one that was in my hand.
Okay, so as you tried to
He-
drown him and he breaks free, you're gonna try and kill him.
With a disadvantage?
Disadvantage because you are prone. Diving forward to slam him into the water. Oh, you hit him anyway. Roll your damage.
My god.
So as he goes to try and get away, you still have like, you hit him down with one hand, Maul's still in the other hand, and you just swing it round. Going to take his legs out from under him, but you just kind of collide with just under his hip and shatter both of his legs as he just slumps down onto the ground, knocked out and probably dead from the impact. As he just collapses like
Wait,
right
did
at
you
the
say he's still alive?
he
Or
could.
just on KO?
It's hard to tell. Like his legs are a broken, mangled mess.
Well, that looks like Davy Jones will still get his drowning.
So the first of these kobolds does open the door and dive inside. The second one is just at the door, trying to get in away from you as their turn ends. And it is now Barrick's turn.
I'm just gonna use my full movement. I'm assuming I can just creep under this wire.
You will need to make a dexterity save since you don't actually. Well, do you want to try and spot the wire again with advantage?
I'll just make a dexterity save. I know that both of them have went under it, so I'm just gonna try to go under it.
Yes, to see if you
So
go
I can't
low
see
enough
it.
under it. Oh no, that's not very good. We'll say advantage because you do know something's there. You just don't know how low you need to go to drop under it.
Oh,
Oh,
Low
no.
for our bowies.
Not
So-
low enough.
So you try and go low,
got lumbago.
ducking down low,
Lumbago.
Lambago for
but
goodness
as you're
sake.
like creeping under it, like your head
Lumbago.
passes by fine, and you're like, okay, I think I'm good. And then as you go to start standing up again, you feel something catch on the very like back straps of your breastplate, like where the straps would be holding at the shoulders as you go to stand up. Something just catches right at the edge, and then hear a ding. And both you and Carrick now need to make a dexterity
Wait,
saving
what do
throw
you mean?
because you're within range of the trap. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're fine, and Carrick.
For fuck's sake. No, did I pass the trap or?
You passed the trap, but you're still within its effective range to get hit by it.
For
Because
there would have moved another bit. Where?
this is the trap's range that you have been walking over, following Airbomb's footsteps and.
Oh, for the
Swear.
love of God!
Okay, so
I don't
as
want to play dungeons anymore.
so
Me.
as Barrick snaps the tripwire, you hear behind you, you're like, oh fuck! You take like a dive to try and get out of the way, as like from up above you, a small little pot drops down, shatters over the ground, and it
Great.
ignites with flames, dealing 3 points of damage to Barrick, just barely managing to dive out of the way in time to not get hit by the full brunt. But
Action
Carrick,
7 HP. Love life.
well, you get hit by the full damage because you failed your save. So
Yeah, so I'm dead.
you get dropped to 4 health left.
Excellent.
As
Love this
fire
game.
Licks up around your back, burning you as you try your best to dive out of the way.
Literally don't know why I played
I
this.
will assist to try to put it out quickly.
You just be able to just use like your action to put out the fire if you want.
And
What-
I shall
I'm on
move the
4
rest of my
HP.
movement
What?
and join Airbomb at the water's edge.
So you just quickly pat Carrick out and then just sprint past, trying to keep up with Airbomb.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come back, you little bastard.
We're now to Umar, who also, well, actually, no one here is really doing great apart from the raged half-orc that's somehow just avoiding and spotting all of the traps. Somehow.
I love how we took on an entire, like, dead ass battalion of these things, and we survived. And
Yeah, but
We've
that-
encountered
they
about
were out. They
three.
were out in the open in like a pitched
Yeah.
battle where they are
It's
not
not
at all.
not normal
Plush.
for kobolds.
They were
No.
inbred.
Yes, they
these
were
are also
extremely.
inbred, probably.
Most of these ones have looked mostly the same. There are a couple that look a bit disfigured that you've seen
Though-
so far.
Now that I think about it, better inbred than no bread.
That's the right mentality,
So-
though, Samuel. I will agree.
Umar rushes up behind the rest of the group, seeing the kobold trying to get away, pulls one of his javelins out and throws it past Barrick, trying to catch the kobold before it escapes. And he rolls a 6, so he does not get it. And you see the javelin just bounce off the rock wall and roll down to the edge of the water. You hear him just curse under his breath a little bit, And it's now the kobold's turn. As you see the first kobold dive, well, the first kobold's already through the door, but he's long gone, and the second one dives in through the door, swings it shut behind him, and you hear like different latches and things pulling, bars getting dropped as the kobold has disappeared behind the door.
No frag grenade won't fix.
Yes, which you actually know how to use, remember.
Yes, I know.
And the kobolds.
You know
Nothing
what I
else.
need? Man,
Nothing else seems to be
the next
happening.
thing I want to buy is a stick of dynamite for these situations. Just
So we're now back to Beric's turn.
What's
Wait a minute.
my turn?
It's back to your turn.
have I not been able to move at all?
Oh wait, hold on. Have I went to?
I haven't
What's that?
moved.
Because the
So
character hasn't moved yet.
yes, it's Carrick's turn then. Actually the kobolds
Dungeon
have not
Master's
moved
biased.
yet.
I knew it all along. He's secretly
would be
closed
here.
the dice.
This one would be here.
There's no way you'll be able to get a shot anyway.
Oh, I know, but
Thingy would be back here.
Unless you're gonna just
So
do
it's
full
Carrick's.
wanted
It is
style
your
and
turn,
just
Micaiah.
drive.
What are you going to try and do?
we'll only move forward. Really, that's literally the only thing I can do.
Lad, just charge up, rip one of the fletchings out of your arrow, and then fucking drift the arrow around the corner and just right into the kobold's back.
Right, I move up to right where my arrow is now, and then shoot past your ear.
Okay.
Let's assume that, and then into this. That's what you want me to do.
Make
Nah,
your attempt.
It's not what I want.
That's what he's saying to do.
I
I'm
wanted
having to shoot past his
style
ear.
points. I wanted you to like rip the fletching like off the arrow and then shoot it round the corner.
What do you mean rip the fletching? What's that? I don't
The
know.
feathers.
Drift, boy! Drift!
Right, okay. Number one is not the wanted where you can curve bullets.
You actually
and
can curve arrows. You can do it.
Andrew, can you curve arrows as an archer?
It
Please
would be
enlighten me.
hard, but you could
I don't
try.
see Legolas curving many arrows.
That's because Legolas is a pussy.
It's all to do with the style of fletching
The
you have
man-
on the arrow.
The elf that has unlimited ammunition has never once curved it.
No, he runs out of ammo in the Hobbit. Only when the story permits.
only when the plot armor is too weak.
So what do you want to do as you're running up?
Shoot him in the back.
Alright, here we go. Oh, you lucky duck.
You have hit him.
He did.
So as you skid up behind the others, drawing an arrow and release
Good
it
job,
pretty
Arthur,
much
7.
past, between Beric and the wall, straight into the back of the kobold, who reaches back to try and grab it, staggers forward, and then slumps up against the door.
Oh, I wanted to like have the arrow like go straight
Is the
through him
door
and then like
closed,
pin him
or is the door
up against
still
the door.
open?
The door is like pushed over, but not like fully closed. And it would be a
So
True
tired of
Hairbomb's
this shit.
turn.
Saying that the kobolds try to run for it. Oh no, you don't!
Wait, what?
Now remember, this is like a 2-foot by 4-foot door.
There is no
Kinda
way
like
you're
the-
fat
kinda
ass.
like- Kind of like rummage my hand around, try to grab the one that I see the other archer.
That archer would be like you stick your hand
Oh.
in, grab around, but there's nothing immediately within arm's reach on the other side of the door. He's stepped back far enough to give the second one room to get in and close the door, who is now dead and cannot get in.
Just shite crack.
Indeed.
And
Anything
I'll
else you'd like to try and do?
turn around and just wait, I'll actually see how far that is. And just kind of dander down here.
Roll perception.
Oh,
Definitely
look,
not for the
See
face.
if you spot.
there's a tunnel. There's a tunnel to the right.
Or for the fish in the top right.
Okay.
Easy.
So-
fish.
As you start stepping along, you now need to make a dexterity save.
It's
But
the
why
Kraken!
though?
You'll see why.
Oh no. Oh no. Just normal.
This is normal dexterity.
It's the Watcher and the
Boom. Look how. Oh Jesus, now.
So whereabouts were you trying to move to?
Yeah, I was. Well, I'm trying to think. Where was the move?
You're gonna
I was
move
there.
your full
I was
30.
moved. The third was. Well, I moved from here to here, so about 20. So about where I am standing right now.
Yeah. So as you're stepping your way along, you suddenly just feel piercing in your feet, as even with your rage, you take 4 points of damage and can't really exactly
Roll, I'd
see.
be dead if it was me.
You don't see like what's actually piercing you, but when you step, something is piercing into your feet, stabbing you from beneath. And you do see a slight bit
What time should need to be in for?
into
Right,
this
okay.
room. And about there. So something is definitely stabbing your feet on the ground.
Well,
I
that's
knew I should have invested in boots.
Fuck.
Lamar
Okay.
spends the rest of his turn catching up to everybody. And now it would be the kobolds. And you see, like just in that slight bit of tunnel, you can just about see a little bow peeks out and another arrow streaks out towards Eba, catching you right in a right like the collarbone area,
Ow.
and does 4 damage to you, even with your rage. And then it vanishes back around the corner into the dark and disappears.
I love how we haven't even killed like half of them. They're just hiding.
What would you like to do next? Kobolds are very cowardly creatures. They were only outside their cave before because they were being threatened out.
We're gonna need a different variety of creature after this because we've killed quite a lot of these figures.
keep these. I like these.
So now it's back
Can't just keep
Beric.
killing them forever. Though.
Can.
Keep poking me.
Yo, don't peek, fam, don't peek.
What the fuck is he talking about?
So what's Beric gonna do?
First of all, I'm gonna run up here, and can I see anything down this sort of?
Down the tunnel, you just see your lantern light illuminate a small little tunnel and then eventually fade out, and you can't see anything else down it. The kobold has ran completely out of it, the range of the light.
Okay. Gonna use 15 movement to run through the water to Ebom's side, and then I'm gonna have a wee peek down here.
So you're peeking the best you can down this tunnel. So from the bit you can see between the rocks, you do see a kobold. You wouldn't be able to see that green patch between you and the kobold because it's pressed down into the ground, but you do see the kobold.
Gonna use the rest of my movement to run over behind this wall.
I just thought of
So
something.
while you're stepping out of the water, you're gonna need to make your own perception check. Okay, now make a dexterity save, as you have not noticed the trap either. Oh, so
Happens in fish.
as you're stepping up out of the water, you do feel like poking and piercing, pressing into your feet as you start stepping up. But
Ah,
you manage to to step off and find a spot where you're not getting stabbed in the feet anymore. But how far do you want to keep walking, like knowing that's there with your dexterity save, like right to where you wanted to go? Like,
Maybe like
to there?
move down the water a bit and then yeah, move in.
Okay.
Oh god, is it a double cave? Or a double entrance?
So from stepping your way up out of the water, the piercing in your feet negated, like your deft dodging into a slightly safer spot negated a bit of the damage, but you still take 3 from getting
Okay.
stabbed up in through your boots. But you do get a better look down into this next tunnel, which you can now see. This one's going down even deeper and would
How
run
did we not notice
underneath.
that?
This one would run underneath the path you came in.
Oh, good grief. Right, okay.
And I'm actually
My
gonna...
god.
So now that you are progressing along,
We have barely
you
started.
do no longer see...
There's a second map! No!
No, you just no
course
longer
there
see
is.
this part of the cave anymore. Because you never know where
You know why it's
kobolds
doing
might be
that?
sneaking about.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely not.
Contact rear.
It's definitely not because we were followed in by a patrol and they haven't caught up to us yet. I don't know how, but realistically should have.
Yeah, so this is about what the whole group can see now.
That's bullshit, Andrew. I can see everything. I remember all. I can see through walls.
Yes, but you don't know what's there right now.
Got those hacks.
Is there anything else you'd like to do as you're balancing as best you can in safe spots where you're not getting stabbed?
I'd like to, can I sort of look at the ground or investigate the ground to see what the fuck is stabbing me?
You could take the rest of your turn to make investigation on the ground.
Why is the ground so pointy?
That was insight.
Shit.
You might as well re-roll it, because
It was shit.
yeah, 'cause you actually have a negative on your investigation, but you still did
Better.
better. Since like you've already been stabbed at this point, and you try and get down closer and look around the ground, you're not really seeing anything. Then bringing your hand down to check out the ground, you get poked, and a little bit of blood starts dripping down this very fine spike that's sticking out of the ground. They are partially buried caltrops in the dirt of the ground, where only the topmost spike, covered in rust, dirt to blend in with the ground, is sticking out. So this would not be very good to get stabbed with, since God knows what the kobolds have put on it.
Ah, fuck.
I know what I'd put on it.
So that would, do you want to inform everybody
Watch your
else?
footing! There's traps on the ground here.
So you all now have advantage to spot the trap. But you could still fail because it is very well hidden.
I'll fail.
It is now your turn,
Watch.
Macaulay. So this is your
Just
chance.
Watch.
Your
Just
chance to
watch.
fail.
Just carry me through the rest of this cave, boys, will you? Yeah, good.
You all are pretty hurt apart from Airbob right now. And everybody can see this, like, looking around.
Can I recover health?
You would need to take a short, uninterrupted rest. So you could do that, but you need to be uninterrupted.
That's 10 turns.
Well, it's like,
Or we kill everything. in
it's like,
combat.
I would say a 15-minute break to have a breather, get your breath back.
By that time, A-Bomb will have cleared out this entire cave and moved on to the next map. And it's taking ages,
Airbomb's
so-
rage, though,
Yes.
is probably coming to an end pretty soon.
I am somewhat satisfied with my murder.
Right, I'm gonna hug the wall and
Murder.
peek along and shoot a
Make
bully.
your advantaged perception for the trap, though.
It'll still, I'm just
Since
gonna.
you
this is
know
gonna
it,
wreck
there's
me.
something there, but you cannot yet see the spikes. Oh yeah.
Anywhere.
Ooh!
So you have saw the trap, And
What is it?
it is
Fish.
like the parts of caltrops sticking up through the ground at your feet.
We fuckers.
So as you're stepping your way along, now that you can actually see it, you will need to move half movement. Like, so if you wanted to move 20 feet, you can only move 10 feet to not get stabbed as
To
you're
not
walking.
get stabbed.
Yes, if you move half of your speed, like instead of taking a full turn of movement, which is the 30 feet, you could
Um,
cut it by half to go slowly and do a maximum of 15, and you will
I'm
not
moving
get
10 feet
stabbed.
and peeking along. That's slowly it.
So you could move another 5 feet if you want to.
What's the point?
Okay, so you're staying there.
Peek long. Oh, wait, 13. That's more
Uh,
than 12.
That is a hit.
Attacks.
Roll your damage. So
He did.
you creep along, trying to dodge the caltrops as you step through. Look around the corner, spot the kobold, shoot an arrow out, and you just catch him in the shoulder, staggers back, and he falls down into the tunnel, bleeding out on the floor. So now it would be Airborne. And first, do your advantage perception to spot the
Holy
trap.
shit, it's near 10.
Okay.
These dungeons are a difficult thing. There's a lot to do. So you have now, like, being warned of the trap on the ground and being stabbed by it. You can now see the little spikes,
Mhm.
barely visible, sticking out of the ground.
Like to move into where, like there, just where the
So, like,
into that wee
this
new
part
little cave.
would be taking up 20 feet of your movement to get through
Mhm.
safely. And then you've got another 10 feet.
And I'll move about 5 that, so move
Move the rest of the way in.
20, into here. There.
So
If I can fit.
this one's very tight for you. So as you're squeezing your way through this narrow little passage, you see that there is a green bubbling pool and a very thin and flimsy looking plank led out across it. Anything else you'd like to do?
Does this pool take up the entire room, or is there
Pretty
this kind
much.
of...
There's like a couple inches along the sides.
What is this green pool?
Roll nature check.
Ooh. That's a thing that I think I don't have. No, it is not. Do the big brain.
So looking at it, it looks like green bubbly water.
Samuel thinks it's algae.
Should eat it.
I don't.
Nutritious.
I don't trust little wooden boards. So I'm just gonna go. Just be like, it's fine, and just dander over to where that little kobold's corpse is.
Okay. Make disadvantaged acrobatics save.
You could have fucking did it.
Oh.
Acrobatics across the bloody plank.
So you're just like you're literally just trying to walk across this plank to get over.
No,
Yes.
Where is
Okay. So as you take one step, you feel it bend under your weight. And then when you take your second step, the plank just snaps in the middle. And you need to make another acrobatics save to
It's a pool of
attempt to
freaking
dive
acid.
out of the way.
Advantage or disadvantage?
Just a normal acrobatics.
This will be fun.
Kobe.
Okay.
For the lover!
Which way are you
What?
diving?
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
Onward.
So you drop,
That's the
dive,
ballerina.
dive
300
from
pounds and
the plank
dives.
as best you can
But when he lands,
towards
he just flip and
the
pull
far
them in
side,
towards it.
Mm-hmm.
and like as you were falling and tried to jump,
Cause
you
an
did
earthquake.
your legs did enter into this green pool, and you get burnt for a
Where the
total
hell does
of
cobalt get acid from?
6 damage. That's
Oh.
burning up your legs.
Ow.
Since you did manage to jump out, but you are still burned in your attempt to jump out.
Ow!
So this is burny, gooey, green bubbling water. And Carrick has just watched Aebon walk over this flimsy plank, drop, and then dive out. And just like clinging, like barely clinging onto the edge from falling in. You're like
I
right on the edge of dropping into this pool again.
This is actually bubbling.
Yeah, like there's actual like bubbles like coming up and then slowly going.
Oh.
Like
okay.
hissing at us.
really,
Literally hissing at us.
really goopy bubbles. Really like a thick substance.
This is
So
so
it would now
shit.
be Umar who is going to roll to spot the trap.
Wait, he's going over it too.
No, the spikes that you're at. He
Oh.
does see the spikes. So like 10 to there. So he can't really go far, so he just falls in behind Carrick. And now,
Doesn't trust the water, obviously.
no, nobody has really
Oh.
trusted the water yet but you. And
What does
yeah.
A-Bomb get to see down that corridor, I wonder?
yes.
A-Bomb,
This is true. I don't know yet.
We're waiting for the Dungeon Master to reveal part of the map that he can see.
So-
Is it a dead end, or is it something else?
It goes on underneath one of the paths you already saw. So this is another going down a really deep tunnel. Same as the one that Chicken's at.
none of us can cross the Puli Acid Pit of Death.
Does
Right.
any? I have a lot of rope.
You do have a lot of rope.
How's that gonna work, though?
Does
Like,
anybody have those wee stabby things?
No.
I do.
You're... I don't even want to try it.
But while you're having this conversation, it is indeed the kobold's turn.
Stabby
So,
things.
As the group is standing kind of close to the edge of the water, you do start to see some movement swirling around inside it.
Oh, I'm
And
gonna
then,
die in this cave.
and then from it, you see these strange, like, kind of amphibian, kind of fish-like creatures just start diving out of the water in your direction, trying, like, almost like giant leeches. Like, they've got, like, those kind of circular bladed mouths of leeches, but then the leech
Gross.
bodies have, like, fins on them. As they start just diving out.
I
One
can't
group,
even envision that.
just like think of a leech from Green Hell, but
Leech,
really
yes,
a leech,
massive.
but maybe
Yeah.
about 6 inches long, probably like 2 inches like thick at its thickest part, with fish fins on it.
2 inches is about 50.
And there is a swarm of them. This is like the bugs and the rats, where there is a swarm, as they just fling themselves out of the water and try and latch onto you in their attempts to
Brilliant.
attack.
Brilliant.
Get fucked.
It's been nice knowing you, gentlemen.
So, the first swarm of these strange fish leeches dives out for Beric. And flying through the air, you can feel them land on you, and their little teeth just start to grind against your chest piece as they're trying to dig their way through to find flesh to start sucking and draining your blood. The second group
I don't like getting sucked on.
dives their way out towards Umar, who just in time manages to get his shield up and catch them on it as they start squirming around trying to find purchase on some flesh to suck on. And
Stop sucking my friends!
And it is now back to Beric's turn. As
I am
these little
going
fish creatures have attached to
to-
you.
I've not got a go. Oh, okay, it's been a long time.
Well, your go was moving across the spikes after Jacob went around
Oh,
the
okay,
water.
okay,
I
okay.
am going to use disengage.
Yep.
I
You can use
that,
it as a
can't I?
bonus action, and then move away without being attacked.
What class does he get that
Okay,
under?
right. I will.
You actually
attack
have it
the-
as
I
well,
will-
Mackay, because you're both level 2
I will
rogues.
attack
Mm, okay.
first with my main action.
Okay.
Does action surge come back after a short rest?
After a short rest, yeah.
Actually, no, wait. I've already used it.
Yeah, at the very start.
I used it on the bugs. Right. I'm just gonna use a normal attack then. Da, da, da.
That is a hit as you start hacking
Ooh,
into these
Drive
leech
back
creatures.
relentless. And then I'm going to use evade.
So you're using your disengage to get out of the.
Yeah, disengage.
So you
Do I have to
slow
roll
like.
anything for that, or
No, that's just they can't take an attack against you, and it uses your bonus action.
okay?
So how far do you want to move?
Way down here.
Okay, so you've managed to like bang your chest piece, cut a couple up, and they've mostly fell off you into a pile as you start backing your way down the tunnel. And your lantern light would reveal quite a bit of the tunnel at this point. As you're backing up, glancing that way, and you see further down the tunnel a couple
Oh,
of
fuck.
kobolds coming up your direction, ready to attack on their next turn. As you've backed up into them as they're coming to look for you.
Fantastic.
And now it would be Carrick. As you're watching these leech creatures dive onto Umar's shield.
Honestly, I just want to go home and buy a house and retire. I mean,
You need to get out first.
that's where I'm mentality. I'm so sick of this shit.
That's always an option when you get out. You could retire.
I'm just like, no, Andrew, I'm gonna go to the capital, buy a house, and retire.
That's
Live a
always an
peaceful life.
option you can do. And then
Move to the
Fuck yeah,
shitty
dude.
capital. Fuck that.
Become that posh wanker and become a hypocrite for the rest of my life. And I'll
So-
have to burn my own house down at some point. And be like, fuck, now I'm back where I'm started.
So what are you gonna do now?
I want to buy a ship and kill the whales. All of them. Leave none alive.
I'll buy a brig, have shitty cannons, then dive underwater to find collectibles to upgrade my cannons, and then rule the seven seas. Boom.
How did you know my plan?
So you're attacking the leeches on Umar?
I don't get sneak attack, do I? Yes, I am.
You do, because he's in combat with them as well.
Another 8!
And your
That's
D6.
Another...
That's some good damage. Some good.
Hey!
Just once. Could I roll a 6? Just once.
You rolled a 6 in the last
Three.
game.
The most... Definitely the most thing I roll in
So,
D6 is a 3.
As you start hacking your way
Not once. Not once.
in,
in a
trying
row.
to get them off his shield and cut them up, you're definitely cutting down quite a few of them.
And
they're
watch
still
me
going.
Fail this dagger.
Your bonus. Oh,
Oh god!
that is a crit. Roll your damage for the dagger.
Well, I'm not complaining now, are you, Carrick?
Okay, so you hack some up with your sword, bring in your dagger, and start cutting up a couple more. And they're falling to the ground. There's definitely quite a good bit of a swarm. So, from your experience of swarms, you know that it is quite difficult to kill them all, since they are swarming over the top of you everywhere. And it would then go to Evom's turn, who's now across this strange green pool from everybody else. So what do you want to do?
How long, realistically, would it take for me to make a rope bridge? Like,
That
Don't think you could really do it. without someone on
depends
the other
how
side.
much rope you have and how well you roll it.
how angry am I still?
You would be probably about to come out of your rage right now. I would say this is probably your last turn. So any smart thoughts would be very hard to do. Like constructing something you're too angry to build.
That I will keep.
Charge into the darkness!
So keep pushing forward.
So that's what's that currently? That's
I think I was 90.
the initial
That's
12.
20. Roll some perception first.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, so what you can see as you're moving along, like you see a very rough passage coming up ahead that seems to be lots of like large fallen rocks. It looks as though it's probably had some sort of recent rockfall, or is it like a newly mined out area? But as you are stepping forward, some small piercing arrows come down from above you, and looking up you can see some small, barely visible cracks in the floor that you never saw from above, that there are now arrows coming through as two kobolds up ahead are shooting down on top of you.
Wait, what?
So, up above, the ground is coated with dirt, and now the dirt is being brushed away to reveal wooden planks that are holding up that part of the floor.
How did none of us walk over that?
Because it
side
was
of that?
covered with dirt and rocks and stones like the rest of the cave floor.
James, that must be some amount of dirt for us not to notice, and then they have to get the shovels out and the brush to mop it all away.
Kobolds are
just like-
natural diggers and crafters, my guy. They could craft anything you do in
Great
half
day.
the time and do it better, probably. So, Zebon
They
is...
have to whip out the pickaxes.
No, they've like all this shit prepared to just get it all cleared out in case you get down that far, and just pepper you with arrows. They're very prepared little creatures. So Zebum's stepping along.
He's just booking it.
You just
Well,
feel these couple
Not fair.
arrows rain down on top of you, and you take a total of, let's
You
see,
get 3 points of damage.
no, he takes 8 points of damage because he's raging. And at the end of this turn, I'll say your rage is ended, and then you need to do another rage if you want to keep it going. Since I don't know how many turns it's actually been, I didn't count.
Neither. Not
So
fair.
you do have another 10 feet of movement.
I'll do my initial 10 feet of movement. Oof. So boom.
So you can now see that this kind of rougher terrain part does continue on for quite a bit as you're stepping your way through.
I don't like the green stuff.
No, the green stuff is very bad. Very bad indeed.
Bucket.
You're gonna dash?
Mm-hmm.
How far are
Smart.
you? You're gonna go with your
Oh.
full...
Well, I'm gonna do the
20.
first, the 20, and then see what I can see before
So-
making the next decision.
make a perception check first.
Oh god. Cave in.
They cannot stop me.
So as you start stepping into this rougher terrain, you can see some small little holes in the sides of the walls beside you. So that would be like when you step past this first rock, you notice that on either side of the passageway there's little tiny holes in the wall. Do you want to keep moving?
Just kind of not go up to go up near the hole, but not to the point like that. If anyone was in it, they could see me, and just kind of like slowly whisper, "I swear to God, if you shoot me, I will eat your face." Intimidation,
So you just like
please.
say that into one of the holes.
Yeah, just intimidation.
Make it with disadvantage because you can't see anyone to intimidate, so you don't know if anyone's actually there or not listening. And if there is, you'd be saying it through a wall. Okay. So it kind of comes out as more funny than scary.
Your face.
Yes. And the acid that burned you, it is acid, but you wouldn't know that it's still water. The green water is still
Green
making your
water.
legs very itchy. Your legs are quite itchy at this point, as some of your skin is still starting to burn and peel off.
Oh, we're all gonna die in here.
Do you want to keep trying to move forward or stop? Or
I'm
go
gonna-
back. Going back is still an option.
Is Worm Sandon? Is there any of those little like holy holes?
They seem to be spread out every couple feet at varying heights, the whole length that you can see. So you
Am
would be
I under
just where
one
they
right now?
start.
Am I right under? Am I right under one?
There'd be one like aiming right this way.
No,
So
they're like at the sides of the walls, not like at the bottom and top.
yeah, they're like to your left and right. So one is like looking straight at you like that. One's probably behind you. It's like where all those rocks start. There's little.
I'm just gonna
Yes.
just move slightly out of the way, sit down, just kind of cry to myself and eat
Do
a
you also
ration
have a
pack.
feeling looking at the rocks? It would be very difficult to climb over all this rubble, and you'd be slowed down quite a bit walking through.
I'm gonna have a wee cry and eat a ration.
I guess you're just sitting down,
Eat some jerky or
eating
whatever
some
I have.
snacks. Okay. So you're eating some snacks. It is now Umar's turn, who is fighting back against these leech fish, swinging out his blade, getting a couple of them, and hacking through as best he can to kill them, but it is hard with such a large swarm of strange leeches. It is now the kobold and all their like pets' turn.
Oh god,
I'm
please,
gonna
please
die.
miss.
So-
Please miss.
Carrick sees these strange leech creatures slowly flop and crawl their way towards you. But by the time they get to you, it seems as though that's all they can really do. Because,
Andrew's feeling merciful because I'm on 4 HP.
no, they just are
No, they
really
probably have
slow.
real ship movement.
So that was their dash to get to you. That's, like, they're
Lol, I
leeches, they
love-
can't really
I
move
love how I
far.
rolled a crit, and I did successful damage on one of them. Did Umar hit the first batch at all?
He hit that one as well.
So he did damage too, and are they thinned out? Or
Oh yeah, they're thinned out quite a bit.
Think about
Probably
how long it
half
took
of
to
them or
fight the
more.
rats to move.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying is all they need is 4, and then I can just leave this Discord call.
Oh, you'll be knocked out. You're not dead.
They'd be slowly detoxing your body.
So
I don't want to get
They-
eaten by
they try and get
Pringle
past
jars. I don't want to get eaten by that because that's what
Umar's
this is.
shield, and
Literal Pringle jars are eating me.
you see a couple of them that are actually managing to flop their way over the top of the shield, attaching onto his neck,
Oh god.
and starting to bite and gnaw down into his flesh. You see some blood start to trickle down as he's reaching out trying to pull them off. Not doing a ton of damage to him, but definitely an inconvenience. And now the kobolds further down the tunnel from
How
Beric.
much HP are you on?
Not a lot.
Damn.
Not a lot.
So the first
Fine,
kobold
not a lot.
shoots out an arrow, and you've like just turned round, go to try and duck out of the way, and this arrow just skims straight past your face, clattering off the wall behind you.
Woo!
As the next one,
Oh lordy.
you see him just rush up screaming, "Rah!" and swinging a club for your head.
He's trash.
You duck back out of the way again, and he just swings by, looking like he's slowly gonna keep advancing towards you. You then start seeing another kobold pop out around the corner, coming to back up his friend. And another one off in the distance that just hasn't quite
You are
arrived.
so dead.
The kobolds are coming for you. You can hear their little claws scraping across the ground.
Drums in the deep. Ah!
I'm gonna have to look up the Gandalf thing now. They're coming. Give me a minute.
And
They've taken the second hole.
can Eba make an intelligence check for me, please? As you've came out of your rage and are now eating.
Maybe I can.
So, as you're sitting
Oh,
there
sorry.
eating, you kind of glance up, and you're like, "Oh wait, that's where I got shot by arrows." As you see two more kobold arrows come through the same slots that got shot out before in the roof above you. As you're sitting eating your snacks, and you take a total of 5 damages. One completely misses, and the second one hits, piercing into like you've got your rations in your hand going up for a bite, and the shot goes through your rations and pins them into your chest, taking your food out of your hands. And
I will leave no survivors for this. I
and
will eat their families.
oh,
All of
Well,
them.
just
I will eat the young.
I will cook their eggs into
It
an
is,
omelette.
now Beric's turn.
I'm gonna just
Wait a minute.
smite.
Andrew. I went again.
You did go. You attacked the ones that were attacking Umar.
Flip, has it seriously been round? Okay.
I'm gonna.
There's a
use my
lot of stuff going
longsword
on.
to cut this booty down.
Okay, that is a hit. So you swing out, slashing
He
across
did.
the kobold's back as he staggers past you, swinging, slashing his back open, seeing some of the exposed bone as he stumbles off and crashes into the cliff face beside you.
And I'm gonna kind of go to back up and retreat. But before I just turn the corner, I am going to throw one of the spark grenades, throwing it down the cave tunnel as I shout, "Granada!"
Yeah, so you mutter the magical word and throw the spark bomb down the tunnel?
Yeah.
Okay. You don't need to actually roll. They have to roll dexterity saves.
Okay, well I'll just sort of get around here, sort of hug the side of this wall.
So as you duck behind the wall, you hear the echoing, like, kind of boom from around the edge. A bit of screaming. Now roll. I'm pretty sure it was 2d6 damage for the spark bomb. Yes, 2d6. Oh. So you hear the thudding, echoing, like, dull thud boom, and a bit of splintering and ripping as
Can I not just see a limb fly around the corner? Like, that's what we all want to see.
can't really tell what's around there anymore,
Hi
but
there.
got a feeling you definitely hit them.
I'll take it.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Nope. Just sort of hold here and just get ready to stab anything that comes around the corner.
Okay. It is now Carrick's turn. And Miguel, do remember you have a single healing potion left. If you wanted to use
Right.
it.
Can I attack disengage?
Yeah, you could use your action to attack
Am I
and then your
gonna be
bonus action.
penalized by caltraps?
your movement when you're moving over them, your movement gets like whatever.
Where
If you
are
move
they? Are they
5 feet,
all? Are they
they're
all along?
like all along here and all along here. So whatever distance you move over caltrops, you double that. So if you move 10 feet, that counts as 20 feet. Do not get stabbed, or you can
No.
move your full movement and get stabbed.
That's all of that's good, but it's not really helping my situation here.
Well, you've got a feeling these leeches can only move like 10 feet their turn and then not attack.
Right, fine. We'll go for an attack, disengage, drink healing potion. Can I do that? Or is that too much?
Drinking the healing potion would be a bonus action. So you could attack and drink the healing potion, or attack and disengage. Or disengage and then drink the healing potion.
Is it bad that I want to do the third one?
No, you can do that if you want.
See, what are the chances an archer just comes around and, it could hit him, but I'll choose the elf thing dead.
You could always back up towards the acid pit.
Alright, yeah, that'll work.
And then the
So-
leeches jump on you and knock
So
you
I'll
out.
have a
Acid
choice
pit.
between
Acid
burning,
pit.
burning my face off or getting eaten alive by a Pringles can. I think not.
So which way are you going?
Wait, how far
Yeah,
was
so
that?
that was like roughly your 15 switch.
Oh,
Goes up to the
well.
30 since you have to move slow.
Oh, moving a teeny
Then you're
bit.
gonna drink your healing potion.
Well, yeah, I got no choice.
2d4 plus 2.
Watch me roll shit. Slash R2D4. Here we go. Ones. Oh,
8. It's pretty good
that was
actually.
nothing.
So you're back up to 12.
That's not a lot, Andrew. Don't make it time because it'll take.
Well,
it'll take one
you're only
cobalt with 8
2
to go back
points
down to
off
4.
max healing, so that's pretty good considering.
What do you mean only 2 points off max healing?
It was 2d4s, you rolled a 2 and a 4,
Oh.
so the max you could get was 10, which is pretty good.
I mean, it's alright, but it's not brilliant.
It'll keep you alive.
Only
So-
just.
That would then finish up your turn, but you are now alive, got more health. And it is Ebom's turn after just getting shot from above by kobolds.
How high is that roof?
That bit of roof is probably about the same height as you. Maybe like 7, 8 foot.
He's gonna try crawl through the cracks. It's ambitious.
So what
Oh.
is the actual like are they like just a little
Punch
slit?
it, Samuel. Just punch
Like
it.
as you look up, there's like wooden boards that have been laid along, but they've got gaps in between them. Like maybe an inch wide gap so they can look down and fire an arrow through it.
I still can't believe we didn't notice this, but
And that's where
You've never
we
noticed
were
the first
earlier.
trap. Yes, that's where you were up above earlier. Where you just stormed over it and noticed the next trap along. So what are you going to
What are the sides of this cave? Is it just pure stone?
just mined out and chiseled stone? Some of it looks like it is natural, but then other parts have been changed and widened by the kobolds.
Is there any support beams?
No. Since the
Okay.
cave is mostly natural formed, you haven't saw any support beams the whole way through. Just natural
enough.
cave walls.
I'm just sad to be honest. So I'm just gonna light a torch and just set the wooden beams on top of me on fire, and then just start making my way back to the green goop.
Okay, so you pull out one of your torches, light it up, start burning the wood.
And then just
Okay,
once that's done, move my way back to the green goop
back
land.
to the edge of the pile. Let's see here. So the wood does catch fire. It's very dry. This wood probably hasn't been wet in maybe years. So very dry wood and immediately catches flame and starts to smoke up that part of the tunnel. The walking away, you can't exactly see how it's going, but you assume it's going well.
Do I hear anything?
The
Yeah, well-
crackling of wood, it starts like echoing through that part of the tunnel you're in, masks any other noises you'd probably hear. If you mean like the kobolds getting burned.
Okay.
What we will see as the fire progresses.
Is there any other action I could take?
You'd still have your bonus action.
Um, how strong is hempen rope?
It's decently strong. That's like just like the normal kind of fibrous rope that you
Could
would
it
see.
hold my weight?
It would be maybe, maybe not. It's more made for like a normal weighted person. At like 150 pounds, not 320 or whatever.
How far does an average character's jump?
It's roughly, it's to do with your strength. So if you want to know can they jump that, I think the only person who might be able to is Zumar. But I can check the jump thing to see how far people can jump if you want.
I think you're basically just stuck there until we can win this.
Jump. Let's see.
You'll have to toss me.
Nobody tosses a dwarf.
Jumping. Now I need to go to movement and find it.
Nobody be tossing.
Nope. You'd have to toss yourself.
Tossing the eyeball either.
You could toss me.
Just piss in the acid and then water it down.
Yeah, you could always try it.
Oh. That.
It'll totally work.
Where the fuck is jump? I know there's a jump thing somewhere. Just need to find it. But what are you thinking of trying to do that might involve a jump?
Hmm. 15-foot jump about?
So you're thinking of jumping over it?
Mm-hmm. I don't want to walk on the green goop.
You're gonna jump 15 feet. Great, man.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think back
Maybe.
to the days when we did the long jump at high school. Could I even do 5 meters?
There's no way we were jumping that far. We were shit at it.
Yeah, I was shit at it, but he's fat. He's 300 pounds.
But he is very strong, is the thing.
That
Mhm.
is true.
And
he
strength
weighs a
determines
lot.
your jump. I'm trying to find it. So I can. Here we go. Movement.
15
Jumping.
foot's a long way to jump.
Let's see. Jumping. So your strength determines how far you can jump. When you make a long jump, you will cover a number of feet up to your strength score. If you move at least 10 feet immediately before the jump. If you make-
I was moving.
Yeah. So if you don't move, then it's only half your strength score.
What's my strength score again?
So you would need to dash before you made the jump.
He is doing a long jump effectively.
So and you would still need to make a strength score, but a strength roll. But your strength is 16, So
Mm.
on average, you could jump about 16 foot. But then if you rolled really bad, you would jump not as far. If you rolled really well, you might jump further. Are you gonna try it? It'll be an athletics roll to make the jump. This is like you're mid stride as you're running up, deciding, how am I gonna jump, stop, or am I gonna fall in? You must make your choice. I need to find like so there's a bit of hesitation in your mind,
This is the biggest
But
little
then-
ever.
but then you decide to take the jump.
Alright, hang on. I'm gonna look up on Google a 300-pound man doing a long jump. Surely.
No, you gotta
someone
remember,
has done it
he's
before.
300 pounds, but he's 7'4", built of muscle, has a bit of fat, but
He's a heavy guy, but it's all mainly muscle.
yeah, most of it's muscle, a bit of it's fat.
Ah, nobody's done it before.
But you do make the jump successfully. Like you hit the edge, you feel the rock beneath your feet at the edge crack and start to crumble in. But you do manage to tumble forward and successfully
Nice.
get to the other side. Though the edge collapses in and it will take a longer jump to actually get in now, since like this part here has all like collapsed down into the acid, so it's not kind of like a slope. So if you want to jump back across, it will be even further, like a full 16-foot jump.
If I'm gonna go back that way, I'm just gonna go via here. So
Trying
I
to
don't
drop
like
down.
if
what
I
you-
decide to go back, but the green goop is just a no. No, just not
So-
not up.
That would
Cool.
be your full turn to get there. Then.
So, question.
Yes.
These could I see these wee thingies here?
You can see them, yeah.
From my mariner based background, would I know what they are?
Roll a nature check.
Intelligence, my favorite.
If this is another high roll, I'm leaving this call.
It'll be a crit.
Oh,
Okay,
no,
you
thank you.
have no clue. These seem to be the kind of thing that probably mainly live in caves rather than the ocean.
Samuel, they're Pringle cans. They are.
My
Logic is
God.
that? What logic is
It's the description under said 2 inches wide. Boom. Pringle can. 6 inches long. Boom. That's a Pringle
And
can.
honestly, yeah, they're pretty much the size of Pringle cans.
That is a Pringles can. Dead ass.
You're gonna get killed by Pringle cans if you don't watch
Exactly.
it.
I know.
So it is now Umar's turn, and he starts continuing trying to hack through the little shits as best he can. Does do a decent portion of damage to the group that has been swarming over his shield, but the swarm is still there, though not as intense. And while A-Bomb is jumping over,
It's
I
hot, man.
will-
It's not even dark. What the fuck?
The leeches just attack Ebo and then send it back into the...
need to hide off what
Yes.
A-Bomb can no longer see.
I'm getting very claustrophobic at this map at the minute. Like.
That's the point. You can't
Mm,
see the
Can't
whole
see
cave.
shit.
So, one of the leeches, one of the groups of leeches, is within its normal movement of pretty much 5 feet, and starts swarming towards A-Bomb. And
Strike check!
they start
Germs.
diving up towards you,
Oh,
Um,
dexterity.
right.
Dexterity
And
just
latching
jump out of the way.
latching
Oh, fuck.
onto
Hey,
your
Bram,
body.
took any damage yet? Did it take? Or
He's
very
actually took quite a bit of damage.
little? Ah, he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
He's rolled
And-
crits and everything.
You take 8 damage as they start latching onto you,
Ah!
biting into your flesh, and you can
nipples.
feel them sucking on your blood, draining it from you. And the second group
No,
continues their
stop.
assault against Umar, who managed to block most of the swarm as they jump up with his shield, keeping them at bay. Beric, who's waiting around the corner, does see a gore, blood-splattered kobold stagger its way around with fragments and shards dug into its skin. Pieces of its friend, just blood splattered over it. It seems obvious that your bomb went off. This kobold managed to mostly get out of the way, but the other one was blown to pieces.
Nice.
And you do hear more scrabbling and running further down that tunnel. As this kobold does whip round the corner, see you and snarling, trying to thrust out its spear towards you. Oh, getting 23 to hit.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck indeed. And,
Hopefully roll a 1 on damage.
He does roll a 1 on damage.
Ah!
He does a total of 3 damage to you.
I wish I
With
was
his very small little, kind of like spear. It's a weird kobold weapon, just like a stick with a bit of a pointy blade on it, and he stabs out at you, gashing you across, like down at your shin, just under your kneecap, digging in deep to the skin.
Fuck you little bastard.
Poor kobold, being so mean.
My turn now, isn't it?
It would now, yes, be your turn.
Yeah, I'm going to move out into this again. Looking down the tunnel, but then also taking this opportunity to try to decapitate this kobold, which I have missed because he's so short.
Ah, yes, you, after getting stabbed in the knee, you try and swing for him, but already being short, the kobold just ducks under your blade, dodging out of the way just narrowly. You do see the exploded remains of the archer that was moving down the tunnel towards
it's on
you.
the roof and everything.
It's everywhere. You do roll perception, actually, as you glance down there. From what you can see so far from the light of the lantern, there do look to be cracks and some like dust and chips of rock that are dropping down from the ceiling of that part.
Oh no! I wonder what it could be.
Oh dear.
The explosion has definitely weakened the structure of the cave.
It's definitely weakened that top pillar. Right, I'm going to then just sort of creep back in here while swinging my second attack into the kobold.
The kobold gets his shield up and he blocks your attack. This one's not going down without a fight.
Nope, he did not like me blowing up his friend in front of him.
He did not. He is pissed.
He did not like the meaty bits.
Going to end your turn there.
Yep, don't have a choice, so...
Okay. It's now Carrick's turn.
Yay! This guy in front of you has not taken any damage. Yes.
Oh, he has.
He
he's
does
pretty
look
fucked
hurt.
up.
He barely missed the explosion of the grenade.
Oh, that. Hmm.
Good.
See, if I get close here, there's no real point using a bow. This guy, is he
Can
underneath?
He's
Are you
underneath.
allowed? Are you like allowed to shoot your bow and then move in to melee combat to use your
No.
offhand
Bow's the
No,
two-handed
no,
weapon.
dead it. No, my longbow is like
both?
two-hander now. It's like a two-hander.
Well, the short bow was two-hander since you've got the arrows in one hand to shoot and the bow in the other hand.
Well,
Then
this
you
is-
need to
this
put
is
it all away to get your blades
The
out.
longbow
Go
is
up-
a 2.5
Go up
hander.
to this guy stab him in the face with the arrow and then shoot the arrow with the archer.
Is that even allowed?
You would probably need to be very high level to do something like that, or find some
Also-
feat that
You
exists.
need to be a
there.
Legolas level.
Legolas, you're better than
But what are you gonna do?
us.
Like the way he says he's following my lead, just abandoned the other two.
You abandoned me. I'm just following protocol.
I wasn't fighting those leeches. Fuck that shit. Those things are terrifying.
Yeah, I know they're Pringle. They're the Pringle cans. Jeez, couldn't cope with that.
Amar,
I
not
couldn't-
actually being a rogue, can't disengage unless he forfeits his attacks and or runs away and gets attacked.
I can't shoot this one without getting into range of this one. Isn't that correct?
Pretty much. That one would have a very high cover if you tried to shoot it.
Here we go.
So you're
How
shooting
many arrows?
as
Are you
close
to
shooting
as
the
one.
closest one? Or the...
Yes. How many arrows?
You'd still have quite a few left. I haven't bothered marking down how many you used,
I haven't
Ah, you-
bothered either.
but
You
shoot,
lifting them up, alright.
Oh, well, he did.
that is a hit.
He
Oh,
did.
I did.
And yep, he's already blocked the sword
I
strike,
love my longbow.
and they just shoot underneath his arm into his rib cage, and he crumples over to the ground.
And
at
now
the feet of Eric.
we wait.
It would now be Airbomb's turn.
He can't shoot me.
He can step up a bit.
He
and
can
shoot.
move
He can
15
move.
feet and then shoot you.
Yeah, but then if he's
Question.
gonna move 15 feet,
Yes.
he's gonna have to be. He's gonna have to move to there, and you can pretty much attack him.
Mhm. If he doesn't shoot me and kill me.
Can I rage, reckless attack, and great weapon master in the same turn?
Let me check. So reckless attack, like I'm pretty sure you just say you're going to reckless attack. Rage is a bonus action. And then what's the other thing you wanted to do?
Great weapon master.
Great weapon master. You just have to say that you're doing it. And you take the -5 to hit, but get 10 extra damage if you do hit.
Dude.
So yes, you could do all that.
That's what I'm gonna do. First,
He's
he's going to rage,
He goes angry mode.
recklessly attack
Okay.
with
all
great
reckless.
weapon master,
Roll your
screaming
advantage.
to make fish pie. First, break the spine.
Okay. Make the attack.
So I'm right in saying it's -5 to hit.
Just like
But-
click the like advantage, then click the weapon, and we'll just -5 from whatever the combined roll is. So that would be 14, and 14 does hit. So now you roll your maul,
Maul plus
and
10.
then we add extra 10. So that's 21. So
Okay.
you bring down the maul, smashing as accurately as you can into the biggest portion of leech creatures.
Looks
And
like sushi's
You
back on the
smash
menu.
quite a lot of them. You can tell that the swarm is, this specific part of the swarm is about half of its original size.
My god.
They're very hard to kill in swarms.
I hate
So
this
you've
one.
smashed
hate
quite a few. And next we're back to Umar, who is doing his best to try and finish off the swarm, striking out with his blade, hacking into them, and you can see there's only a couple left that are still clinging on. You see a couple on his neck, one on his wrist. There's still a few of them, and they haven't fled just yet, but they are fighting back. And it's their turn. So as the leeches bite into the flesh of Airbomb with advantage, they get a total of 24 to hit,
Garbage!
rolling a natural 19.
3 damage.
And they bite you for, in your rage, a total of 3 damage.
Yes! Called it both times.
It was a 6 and got halved. I was like, they're just clinging onto you everywhere, onto your biceps, your chest, your neck. One's on your face, like just above your eye, dangling down, sucking onto your
Stop
blood.
it!
Stop sucking me!
Stop sucking me!
And the other swarm flings themselves into Umar, and they get past his shield, and they do. Oh, he's barely alive right now.
The last
So-
sprinkle.
They jump up, swarm onto them, and you can see them just hanging off his skin. Big circular cuts on his face where he's like ripped them off, and across his arms where he's bleeding heavily from all over.
Why are you laughing? This is a terrible sight.
No, I think that's a great meme.
Oh, I see. Nice.
I've successfully read Iron Man 1.
So, yeah, Beric and Carrick then see the Kobold Archer peek
Can't
Oh
ar-
shit.
walk up,
Take
peek
her
around the corner, and takes a shot for the closest person, which is Beric.
dick.
That's
Oh, so you take cover behind up, putting your back up against the cliff face, as you feel the arrow like hit into the side of the breastplate and just slide across, shooting out between you and Carrick. Barely missing you. If you'd shot Carrick, he would have hit. Is the
Dead
sad
ass.
thing there. And then you see it start to run back down the tunnel, the direction it came.
Weird wee cunt.
Oh, you little fuck.
They're 3 feet tall, fighting people twice their size. What do you expect?
There'd literally be blood probably seeping through the timber of his dead mates, and he still attacks us. Freaking just run.
You're in their home, and they don't really have anywhere to go. So, it is now Beric's turn.
Oh yes. Run the little bitch down.
Make a perception check.
Oh god. Oh yeah.
Okay, so as you're running along, you look up, and similar to what A-Bomb saw, you see some small, slight slots up in the ceiling above you, where the roof kind of raises up so it's higher, probably 7, 8 feet high. And you do see with the light of your lantern what does look like the glint of arrow tips.
Of course
So-
it is.
Make a dexterity save. Okay, so you want to keep like pushing forward.
Oh yeah. Right on this guy's ass. Right
So
on
as
my
you push forward, the arrows shoot down, missing you, and then behind you, you hear cracking and tumbling of wood as suddenly part of the trap you didn't see, the floor that you just stepped on, collapses where you were standing as you just managed to dive out of the way of the archers. The ground behind you just falls into a pit full of spikes as you chased out this archer. Though you have caught him, the ground now missing behind you. So what do you want to do?
Oh wait, so I didn't fall into the spike trap. It's behind me.
The spike trap's behind you, like right under those slots. As you looked up and saw the archers,
Okay,
you,
okay.
you took off, like you dived to get past the archers, and that's when the ground collapsed mid-dive, and you landed safely on the other side, but the ground has dropped.
Right. Well, I'm just gonna grab
And
this
you
little
can-
cunt.
You can hear some curses and some shouting from up above. Kobold's angry that they didn't all shoot you instead of
Your engineering
triggering
is
the trap.
shite.
Well, they have pretty
Right.
much blocked off the tunnel.
I'm gonna grab this little cobalt then and
Okay.
stab him through.
running through the blade. That is a hit. And
Oh!
you feel your
He's got-
blade wedge its way through the joints of the
He's got no
spine
stomach.
as they just
Just
start
like
popping.
butter.
As you push through the spine out through its front, and it goes limp in your hand, blood pooling across the ground.
Fatality.
Grounded.
Still have your bonus action if you want to do something.
Um. I'm
Well,
gonna.
this is also the area where you saw like the dust and little rocks falling from the ceiling, where the sides in the ceiling is cracked from the exploding spark bomb.
Oh, I thought that was for. Was that not like here?
See this archer behind you? That's something
Yeah.
that blew up by the grenade, and the other guys
Ah.
where you were standing. Oh, this guy was here.
Ah. Okay.
Yeah, move you on.
Um.
So this area is looking.
How much
Unstable.
more movement do I have?
You have like a couple feet probably, and then you can use your bonus action to dash as a rogue. So 30 feet if you wanted.
Okay. I'll move here and then just see what I can see, like up.
Through
Up
the
this
rest
way?
of the.
Gentlemen, about 10 minutes.
So looking in, you can see what looks to be a mostly open, empty room.
Hmm.
What a waste of life.
The cave looks unstable. I'll push forward. Make sure the others are alright and then see if you can follow.
Okay.
I shall move up to use my first 15 foot of movement to move up and to peek around this corner
So
to
from
see if there's.
what you can see, there don't seem to be any kobolds. Just what looks like patches of the wall are different colors. They look like some sort of ore, probably iron. And there's like abandoned mining tools and equipment, a small
We'll
pile of
call it the mine.
a small
Hmm.
patch of like ore on the ground, some tools, just a general clutter from what seems to be a mining room.
No doorways, no traps, no.
No
Uh,
gold.
Roll perception and you'll find out.
Love a gold ore vein, but nope.
Not
No
that you
gold
can
ore
see
vein.
is looks to be completely normal room. That's just
Okay,
like its walls scraped down and knocked out for mining purposes.
I'm just gonna move in here and.
Make a dexterity save. Your 15-foot stopped just before the trap you did not see. If you'd moved like
Trap in
if
an
you'd moved
empty
like
room.
16 foot, you would have.
In an empty room.
Oh, you'll see what
Okay.
this trap is. This is gonna be
Guys,
this is gonna be interesting.
it's gonna like a fall.
That is Constitution. No.
Yeah.
Never mind. Dexterity.
Okay, so as you start stepping into the room, you're like looking around, going, "Huh, where did this room's pretty empty, no kobolds in it, almost came out to fight me." And then you start hearing, like, you hear the little ting as you step over the threshold, and you're just like,
Ah, not again.
"Oh fuck, this is bad." And then as you are turning to try and dive out, you start hearing cracks like, and then a rock falls like right in front of your vision. And looking up as you're mid-turn trying to dive out of the way, you see the ceiling itself start to collapse in on top of the room, caving in the mining room as you are diving out of the way.
What would have happened if he rolled low enough? He would have been buried alive.
He would take full damage instead of half damage. So, diving out of the room,
Okay.
as you're like almost over the threshold, a rock lands on the back of your leg, trapping your leg inside the room
Ah!
and dealing you 7 points of damage, putting you
Ah!
to exactly unconscious.
Ah!
I rolled a 15 for the total, halved and rounded down is 7. And so you're like mid-dive trying to fly out of this room, you're like, I'm gonna make it. And then a rock just catches your leg, pins it to the ground, and a couple more tumble out onto your back. So like your waist down is essentially buried inside this room. As your vision blurs, fades in and out, going dark, coming back, and then just goes dark as you pass into unconsciousness at the end of this tunnel. Though everybody would hear the almighty cracking, the rumbling of the rocks falling from the ceiling and just tumbling down further down the cave. And loads of smoke and dust, like just pouring out from this room.
Nice.
It would be now Carrick's turn.
I obviously hear this
Oh yes, you hear this
fundamental.
almighty crashing of stone on stone.
I'm assuming, Andre, you know the way the walls were weak here?
You've got a feeling in your unconscious state that that might be a very bad thing.
What do you
okay.
mean? What do you mean?
Uh,
You can assume.
We're gonna get buried alive.
So what are you doing, Macaulay?
Right. I want to know my obstacles here.
So
Is
you're peeking
is
around the
this-
corner?
Yes. Is this the same slop through bullshit with wooden floors that they've done before? Yes. No.
Hold on, let me show you.
I don't know. Because I'm going
Okay,
to go around this.
So if you see these red dots,
Hold on a second. Thank you.
so
Yes.
the
Continue.
dashed lines are the walls of the tunnel, and the red dots are slots up above in the ceiling that they're then
Right.
shooting down through. And then on your level, the ground has fallen away into a spike pit. So that you would walk along, fall into the spikes, and they could shoot you in the spike pit, and you're fucked. So like, this wall here, why can't you see? Oh, hold on. So this wall, and this wall, mark the edges of the spike pit. So it's like 10 foot across.
10 foot's a lot. Like, I don't
Well-
think I could jump 10 foot.
Your strength is 8. So if you do a sprint, you could jump about 8 feet on average. So you wouldn't need to roll high to clear that jump. Roll low and you'd probably fall in. Since
Is
you're,
that strength?
it is
Yeah,
strength.
No, you see, I never roll well on strength. This is the
Neither of you
issue.
do. Like
neither
honestly,
of us roll well.
Like, if there's a strength saving throw involved, it's like a 2. That's literally
that's
what it is.
always what happens. So you've got a feeling those spikes could be very deadly if you dropped on them. And then the kobolds would be shooting down into you as you're pinned down in these spikes in the pit.
Oh god, imagine if I cast a smoke screen and just blind jumped it. Jesus, that would end so badly.
Yeah, you'd be at disadvantage for that jump. I would have.
And I jump into the spikes.
Oh
Problem is,
God.
here, we've got a comrade here effectively bleeding out,
You-
unconscious.
Roll perception to see.
Well, I
Where the-
know there has
There's
been a
dust
massive
and
clash.
smoke, so you don't know if he's actually still alive or not. You can't see
Yeah,
him.
okay. Could be injured or
So do perception to see through the dust that's being thrown up. Okay, so the dust is blocking most of your vision, but you do see the blood and gore across the walls and the floor of the kobolds. The cracked stone throughout that tunnel. And vaguely you can see a figure that seems to be pinned down by rocks and isn't moving.
See, the problem is if I get over there and stabilize him, happy days, and then there's cracked walls. How the hell do I get him back over?
You know,
How do we
you gotta
both
look
get
up,
back
and then you
over?
both have to jump with your 8 strength and make it.
Oh, I'd love to throw a frag grenade and
Is
pop all the rocks, but that's not gonna
here's-
work.
Yeah.
Well, actually, can I even really ask this question? See, like, you know where the roof caved in?
Behind you in that room.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So is the whole room just
The entranceway seems like it would be completely blocked, but in reality, like the roof is filled in, so the room itself would have been full, but then where the roof came from is now the new open space.
yeah, yeah.
So you can't get through the door anymore, but if you like lifted the rocks out of the way, you could climb on top of the rubble and be in a new room.
Right, what am I rolling for the sprint and jump?
Athletics.
This is gonna go absolutely terribly. With a 1 in
It
athletics.
could.
Oh shit!
Yep, there we go.
Okay, so as you build yourself up, he's in trouble.
I don't even want to play this
he
anymore.
needs your help. You go to jump across, and it looks like you're gonna make it, but then you
No.
see an arrow, like up and above you in one of the slots. One of the kobolds shoots down,
Flippy, it's
barely
some quick
misses your
reaction.
face. They've been sitting ready for this, for someone to come this way.
It's been drawn a long time.
So, as Zuvek went for the jump, you were gonna make it, but the arrow flies past your face, so you dodge back, but throw yourself off balance, slip into the pit, and I rolled I rolled a 1 and a 2 for the damage. So you take 3 damage. There's other bodies in the pit, it seems.
Can't
Getting a
get out
closer
though,
look.
can I? How deep is this?
Like if you say were standing at like roughly 6 foot and raised your hands up, your fingers could like just get the edge. So that would be like full standing from the bottom,
That's a
grabbing the
hell of a
top.
drop.
Can't even be fucked.
So you just like kind of slip in, land on a rotting, decaying corpse and some bones that soften the
Hello
blow
there.
from the spikes, and
Oh,
you're not dead, but you are
I wish I
roughed up a
was.
bit as you're pierced by a couple spikes.
Do you know what I say? Fuck the dragon. We'll just leave. Can't be arsed.
You'll have to get
Still
out
no
first, is
castle.
the thing.
Yeah, I know, but
You should totally just start
retiring?
pelting arrows at the same.
So you do still have your action and bonus action if you want to try and climb out.
Don't know how that's allowed, but yes, I would like to do that.
No, this is your jump, so you tried to jump across, fell in. You can use the rest of your movement to get up, and then use your
Right,
action
so
to
I'm
climb out.
assuming this is strength, and strength.
Another
never rolls
athletics
high.
check. Though it's not
Another
as
athletics,
difficult
that's-
as the jump.
It's still shit.
Okay, so
There you go.
you've got your fingers round the edge, and the determination of your ally in danger, possibly even dead, gives you the strength to climb your way out. So you
Yeah.
barely pull yourself up out of the pit. So you still have your bonus action, and you could use it to dash to get out of the way of the kobolds shooting down at you.
Yes.
So
and
on-
get to my per subject who's
Yes.
trampled by rocks.
On your next turn, you could try and stabilize him and get the rocks off to free.
The next turn's gonna take like 20 minutes.
Yeah, you never know, because it's now Ebon fighting the leeches.
can I repeat what I just did earlier?
Yes, you can
Make it so.
make the rolls.
Fast rolls, Samuel. Fast rolls.
Advantage. Where is it? That.
That is a hit. Damage.
Go, 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 go.
Damn it.
Oh.
No, it's
I like
plus the
that.
10. So 16. You can tell that this swarm you're after is almost fully dispersed. But there's still a few that are clinging on and trying to suck the blood out of you as best they can.
Can I take a bonus action?
Yes.
Wait, are some of them still on me?
Some of them, yeah.
Can I take a bonus action?
Eat them.
And belly flop.
You just will fall over.
I just want to kind of flop, sort of like roll them, and just use my
Yeah.
300 points to crush them.
Yeah, just roll a d6 for damage. Since there are some still clinging to you. 1.
Aha!
That's what I'd roll, Samuel.
So you feel like you crushed a couple of them, but they're all like now kind of hiding inside your layers of fat and muscle and avoiding being
Ugh.
squished. They're all very slippery and slimy.
Ugh.
But while you're
Like,
doing that, Amar strikes out at his
Speed
group
rolls. Speed rolls.
and actually manages to disperse the rest, knocking them off into the water, and they don't seem to jump back out.
Nice.
There's now a mashed pile of blood and a dead fish thingies there. And he starts rushing.
help me,
as
bronze
fast-
man!
He was more worried about the other people, but cannot avoid an immediate ally need, so stops to hopefully help you wipe out the fish.
Thank you, bronze man.
And it would be the fish's turn. And the fish attempt to attack Airbomb. They would have had disadvantage because Umar's close and is a shield master, but they have advantage because you're reckless attacking.
So
And,
just a normal.
yes, and they get a 21 to hit. And
3 damage.
you're guessing 2?
Yeah.
They do a total of 4.
Oh.
They rolled 8 halved since he's raging, putting you to 1 HP.
How many times can he rage a day?
2 or
Wait.
3.
Wait, what?
He's on
that's
1
not
HP.
fair.
He's on 1
One.
each.
He is on
Holy
1.
Wait, question. Am I right in saying?
Oh.
Am I right in saying?
If you
I
drop to 0,
go-
you go back to 1. Once a day.
I have an idea.
Oh god, I'm worried.
Okay. Good.
Rolls a 0, goes back to what?
It's his racial trait. If he gets knocked out, he, instead of getting knocked out and going to 0, he goes to 1 HP and still alive. As a half-orc.
And does he say if he's doing an action or something, then does he succeed the action?
It's just like, you know, you got knocked out there. If
Yeah.
that was A-bomb would have been put to 1 HP instead of knocked out.
Yeah.
That's his racial trait. Because the half-orcs are very tough. They just refuse to die. Once a day. And only once a day. But that is all the current moves of your enemies.
Ah, great. Let's roll the
And-
death saving throw.
Yes, it's back to Barrack with his first death saving throw. Oh,
Oh,
it's
well.
1 negative. One
It's
negative.
not a 1. It's not a 1.
If it was a 1, it would have given you 2 failures, which is really bad. But now it's Carrick's turn as you see the crumpled body partially covered by rocks and boulders of Barrack.
The real
Hi,
great
where
thing
you?
is we're not even going to get anything out of this.
Oh, you never know. You don't know
Hey,
what's
you
at the
don't
end yet.
It's not.
I've
a
already
dungeon.
rolled the loot table since. I think it'll be more suspenseful when you finally get to the last room. If
Well,
you
it
get to
ain't
the
going to be
last room.
tonight.
Probably not.
Well,
That'll save the good
Fucking
stuff
save
for the
me
end.
first.
So what are you gonna do?
I thought I'd leave you for dead. No, save him.
Do you want to take away the rocks first, or do the medicine check first?
Move the rocks.
Make a
Like,
strength
like
roll to
Gabriel
try and
starts
dig them
again.
out.
Never roll well on strength. I just
So-
can't look at it.
Ah,
Can't
my
look at it.
spleen!
The rocks that have fell out on him, you managed to pull a couple. You managed to pull a couple out of the
am
way,
done. I am done.
but
The amount of ones and low rolls. It's so bullshit.
you managed to shift a couple of the rocks out of the way. But as you do, a couple more rocks fall down. One, like hitting onto your arm and your shoulder. It hurts quite a bit. Don't seem to be crushing Barrack. They just tumbled to the
Oh,
side
that's
and
good.
knocked you away. But you can still try and stabilize the rest of his wounds and stop him from
Fine.
bleeding out with a medicine check.
Roll good. No.
No.
Okay, you're trying to patch him up,
Medicine.
but
What do you want me to do?
he's took quite a few scratches, and it seems as though
Roll
the
shit
blood
all
might,
night.
from what you
Only
could guess,
rolls is the bow. That's it. And
the
it's a
blood
plus
is
7,
probably
plus
getting
the
cut
blood.
off from his legs. So you've got a matter of time to get him dug out, or there could be more permanent consequences
Great, I'm gonna
Right.
be disabled.
if you're not dug out in time.
Gonna be Brad.
Like,
That-
if your chest is getting compressed, so unconscious, you'd be struggling to breathe right now.
Right, can I do anything more? It's 10 past 11. Or-
That would probably be all you can do, is try to get the
Right.
rocks, try and medicine.
It's gonna have to do me then.
Oh, come on, keep going.
We'll go until the fish
Alright.
is dead.
I'm so done.
So Samuel, kill the fish. It's your
Keep
turn.
going. I wanna
question
see
is,
if I
before-
survive.
Before I
You
make
do
this
survive,
action,
I'm here.
before I make this action,
Lad, you failed both roles.
are
Yeah, I know. I failed every roll that wasn't shooting a bow.
before I make this action, are they here or are they on top of me? Like, are the rest of them just
Some of them are on you, some of them are on the ground around you.
okay? Is that worth the risk?
Oh god.
Just hit them.
I think I know what you're gonna do. And
Would it be advisable, or am I really not gonna do enough damage?
it would kill them all at this point.
Right,
We're
go on,
doing it!
do Lick the stance, Samuel. Lick the stance. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Take my first action
Ugh.
with them like majorly standing on top of me, like biting into me, jump in the acid.
Okay, that's what I thought you were gonna do. So, like, Kara could be able to hear Umar just going, "No!" as Ebom just kind of flops into the
Okay.
pool of acid.
That's not what I thought he was gonna do.
That's like, I just fucking knew it when I told you that you wouldn't die.
High IQ.
Oh my god. So,
I have
You're
the
gonna
big
fail.
brain.
as you
Big
jump into
brain.
the acid, you take 5 points of acid damage, which then puts you to 0, but you're so determined not to die. And you're so fucking dumb that you just can't die. You refuse to let this acid take you as the leeches start burning off and melting in the acid, wiping out the rest on you, where Umar just stomps out the last couple on the ground.
And
And
then
what do you want to try and do now? You're...
quickly climb back out.
So, having fully jumped into this acid, this would be probably up to like your waist, maybe 4 feet deep of acid. So, you're gonna try and climb your way out.
Yeah, just like grab onto the edge, just like pull myself out in just pure.
Just in case
I've
it
just
goes
pressed push on the wrong
fucking
chapter.
terribly, roll your advantaged athletics to climb out.
I was about to say that's what I was gonna do.
There we go.
Advantage.
Just in
Way
case
to
there's
start it.
double ones, you never know what could happen.
Advantage. Athletics.
Wait a minute.
Okay, so you're struggling your way out. You're actually lucky that you cracked the rock previously, where instead of a sheer, like maybe 1 foot drop,
Mhm.
you had cracked it and it slumped into the acid and was now a little slope, which is literally the only reason you climb out of the acid.
Yeah.
As you feel the skin burning and melting from the waist down, as you are in severe pain, barely clinging on to
It
life.
tingles.
I haven't felt the thrill like that in years.
Like, you would be ready to black out. Your vision going, like, kind of going in and out, fading, blurring. That's the stage you'd be at.
Good God, everyone.
It
Come on,
would, it would
we
then
pick
be
this up.
Umar's turn, who,
I need a
in a
pint.
panic, he rips off his cloak and just starts trying to wipe off and get the acid off the remainder of your burnt legs so it doesn't keep burning the next turn.
You don't happen to
So-
have any toothpaste?
So he gets all the majority of the acid off, but
Slap that shit on there.
Ebom has this sudden realization that, you know, this went like up above your waist, which means something that's probably very important to Ebom was
Your
in the
dick
acid.
is non-existent. You've lost your ability
You
to
might
have
have a bit of scarring.
scarring.
from the
I'm
waist
sorry.
down.
Oh fuck!
What would happen if you threw a puppy
It's,
in acid? Let me
My
just think about it.
cannon!
Okay.
it's just sealed closed now. The acid's melted the skin, and it's just now
Oh.
sealed,
No,
sealed
no.
closed.
But yes, like your legs would be scarred pretty heavily now from the acid, but it's all been wiped off, and Umar has ruined his cloak to make sure you don't take
Right,
any more
right.
damage.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
bronze boy.
Seed, come on. I don't have all night. I've got to make my pack lunch.
So do you want to see if Beric lives? Because it is
Yes,
now. Make a
go,
death saving
go.
throw.
Come on.
Oh,
Oh,
okay, McCoy. This is your chance. Medicine check or
Strength.
strength check first.
no, he did. Strength check first.
Okay.
Oh, no.
Oh god, you
Okay,
lucky
so
bastard.
You've managed to clear the rocks off of his like back that are restricting his breathing.
Right, speed roll, don't care. 10, it's no
Medicine.
good.
You're stabilizing him, but it would take a little bit more work. I'll say that takes away one of his deaths, like failed death saving throws, because it's not great.
Right, can we just keep going here?
Now that the rocks are off, the blood's starting to come back to the other parts of my body.
Yeah, but you're still on the edge of possibly still dying. Do you want to just keep rolling to see if he gets up or if he
Yes,
dies?
yes. Madison.
Roll
forward.
another death save.
Right, Jacob, come on, hurry up.
Okay.
We passed that one. Right, what am I rolling? Madison again.
Medicine.
Hold and witness the mighty six.
19.
lucky.
Ah!
Are you gonna try and move the rest of the boulders off his legs?
Well, what I was gonna do is stabilize him and then move him to about here, but don't
You'll
get
still
shot by
need to
here.
move the last couple boulders. His chest is free, but his legs are trapped.
No.
So, as you're patching him up, bandaging
I
up the
clawed
cuts and
him off.
scrapes, as the blood is pooling on the ground, Beric starts to come to consciousness, and your mind would be immediately filled with panic as there is no blood flow to your legs, and you can't feel them underneath the rocks.
Lol. You're a paraplegic.
You only have a matter of time.
Can I like try to like scramble out?
Make a disadvantaged strength since you're prone and pinned down by rocks.
Can I start slowly, like, making my way down?
You would be there if you want to actually jump over the gap of spikes.
Not strong enough.
Question: how much dirt is like was above those wooden planks?
It's hard for you to tell. Probably a couple inches or so of dirt
St-
that they've cleared
Still in my
away.
rage, can I just use my maul and just start knocking it down?
Yeah, make a swing for it.
Like my big brain wants to have the dirt above us fill in the pit. I'm
Okay,
not doing.
make a swing for the remaining wooden
Whoops.
planks.
Oh fuck!
What have I just done?
You just deleted your character. You
Yes.
stupid fuck.
Worst.
I'll put him back.
Just normal eye.
Why
Yeah.
is that a thing? Right, gentlemen, really want to go here?
So
We're nearly
the
there.
last thing you hear is the cracking and splintering of wood as you glance over your shoulder and see Ebon swing up his hammer and smash into the wooden slots that were above the passageway.